Oh my God, 28.
All right. We are back with another episode of So Palate, bitch. Hey, I'm D.
Hey, I'm Capri.
And we are tasting American Single Malt today.
Yes.
We have done all the intros that we're probably going to do at this point. We are on episode 60.
Yes.
At this point, go back and listen to that other shit for the intro as to what we do, why we're doing it, and what we're tasting.
You know why.
Like,
yeah.
Y'all know why we're here. You know why we're here.
All the things.
Okay. So we're here for all the things.
Yeah. It's been a day.
Yeah.
It's been a day.
It's been a day, and it's been a week. And it's
going to be... Oh, Jesus. I didn't even think about how much. This is going to be a week coming up.
I am kind of excited that I'm going to tell. Just because I don't have to hear everything secondhand.
I feel like, child, last year was great, but low-key and best. This year, we need to go and see.
It's going to be a different type of mess this time.
It's going to be. I'm very excited. I'm going to be very busy, so I might have my head down a little bit, but...
It's exciting, though.
Bitch.
It's exciting. I'm excited for you to win Best Bartender.
I really don't think it's going to happen.
Bitch, we're not speaking that over your life. You going to win Best Bartender. I'm speaking it for you.
Cute. That's all that matters. I'm like, cute. I made it to the award show without having to pay. Look, that's where it's been a progress. I love to see that I started as just a lone little girl going to tell
a lone little
what
girl.
the world was of the world of bartending to now here we are, top 4 U.S. bartender.
Yes.
Period.
And that's one period.
That's really, really, really awesome.
Period.
So yeah, we tasted single malt.
Yes, we're tasting American Single Malts today,
y'all. What's first?
y'all.
Because I want to sip something. Child, I need a drink.
Girl. We got some nice, well, I'm not going to say cask strength. These are actually relatively low proofs on the front end. Mm-hmm. And then we got our cask strengths on the back end for this. But yes, y'all, we have 5 new American Single Malts. We did this a couple episodes ago with some different single malts. We've got one repeat distillery, not bottles, but distillery from our last single malt episode. That's Old Line in Baltimore. So, yeah, and then we got one out of Kentucky to start with. Then we move into Baltimore. Then we move into Seattle, Washington.
Love it.
Westland. So it's a nice little lineup. We got a lot of fun finishes, 4 different finishes. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited.
Okay.
3 of these I have not tried yet. So let's go on tour.
Let's do
our first sip.
Let's do it.
So our first sip, child. Claremont Steep American Single Malt Whiskey. Now this is James something Beam. Is that Jim Beam?
Jim Beam.
Okay, because I was like, that's too close to not be the same thing.
I think but James B. Beam or some shit like that.
James B. Beam. There we go. So this is Jim Beam's American Single Malt.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It took me a minute to be like, I was like, wait, that James B. Beam has got to be Jim. Anyway.
That is Jim.
So Jim Beam's Claremont Steep American Single Malt is what we're tasting first, guys.
All right.
This has been aged for 5 years. Let me see. A little snippet from the distillery, as we like to do. Claremont Steep is an American single malt whiskey that highlights the depth and dimension of a single grain malted barley. Mashed from 100% American malted barley, Claremont Steep is a 5-year-old liquid distilled and aged in Claremont, Kentucky in bespoke barrels that were toasted, then quickly charred to a char level 1.
What does bespoke barrels mean?
What the exactly? That's right up there with premium artisanal. What do y'all mean by that? Looks like artisanal cheese. What is that?
Small batch? Like, what are we talking?
A small batch doesn't even have like a true definition anymore. It did at one point. And there are producers trying to really define it, but until there's some legal definitions,
it has to have a quantity to it because right now
it does. It has to.
People saying small batch because they have small stills, but then they have 3,000 of them.
3,000 fucking right, and combining pools from like 100 different barrels, like that's not a small batch, my guy. Like
we know what you're doing.
We're talking 2, 3, 4 barrels. Like I say 5 barrels.
A small
max?
batch. I'm gonna give 10 barrels max.
Okay, that was the backup number in my head. I was like, maybe I'm being a little too stringent.
Small batch.
Yeah, if you're gonna call it a small batch,
like come on.
Like you gotta really. We have to actually distinguish the art craft to this aspect of it if we're gonna do all that. So
I say small batch 10, and then like maybe like whatever is smaller than small, 5 and under.
Mm-hmm. Micro batch.
A micro batch.
I like that micro batch.
No one uses that.
No one uses it.
Hey, look,
it's mine.
Right now.
It's mine.
I don't give a fuck.
So Palate said it first.
Period.
Motherfuckers.
Y'all always try to steal some shit.
Always want to steal some shit from a black woman too.
Every time we see you,
we see you, and our eyes is out here on the street. Eyes and ears is on the street.
Period. Okay.
Now back to the Claremont. It
Grass.
is 94 proof. Yeah, 47% ABV.
Yes.
And you know the age already, so yes.
Just grass, just outside.
A lot of grass. It's giving.
It's that single malt smell.
Giving out in like a field in the spring.
100%.
Like dry air, but the wind is blowing.
White flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even white cherry.
I was gonna say there's some fruit there. White cherry's good.
Yeah.
White cherry's good. I think that's the first we've used that on here.
Yeah, I don't think we ever said white specific cherry.
White cherry. Wow. Wow, that's cool.
Maybe some kind of baking spice, but I'm not sure. And definitely like black tea.
The baking spice aspect is definitely very light.
So glad we did this today because I would have been horrible yesterday.
I'm just happy all your senses is working.
Right. I would have been bad yesterday. That is very easy to drink.
It is a very easy sipper. You can tell level 1 char. Like you can tell that level 1 char is level 1. Like
that's okay.
Not a ton of smoke at all.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You could tell also in color. Those watching on the tube can see this very like. It's giving. Do we want to call this medium gold? Deep gold? It's kind of opaque a little bit.
Yeah, very much.
Like, if we left this out overnight, it would definitely, what's it called? Ruching?
I guess so. When it gets cloudy.
When it gets cloudy, yeah. And I think that's from the lack of filtration. Mm-hmm. There's something fruity-ish and nostalgic happening here. It's something I've tasted before, and I can't put my finger on it.
So for me, long into the finish, I get like cherry, almost cherry medicinal, and then chocolate. This is long into the finish, like
this front end is like hard for me to pin down.
Anything, yeah. I feel like when I was
most of what's happening is
sipping it, low orange happened, but
orange is definitely happening. Almost reminds me of an orange wine. Like way stronger, of course. Definitely tastes like a whiskey, but like the essences of fruit or the essences of funk and all of that that I'm getting is reminiscent of like an orange wine or like a natural wine.
Right. That's tasty.
That's interesting. I definitely get all that chocolate you're talking about and that cherry on the end, along with some little bit of pepper.
Oh, yep. Definitely.
Texture is interesting. It gets waxy.
Yeah.
The roof of my mouth is all wax.
Yes.
Huh. Okay, B.
Tasty. It has a very long finish. Which makes it really nice to sip. I'm very happy about that. But it is lighter. Like, you can tell
super
that
light.
jar.
And for this to be a single malt, I don't get any of the sweet that I would necessarily hope to get from a malted barley or like, you know how sometimes you get some honey notes, sometimes you get like it's none of that.
No.
It's none of that. That is interesting.
Yeah.
It's another way to do it. You know what? It makes me more curious about like another big brand like Jim Beam, like a Jack Daniel's American Single Malt. Like what does that give?
Yeah.
Like
it also like even now, like the grass is just left.
Grass and wax.
Wow. That's cool.
That's very interesting.
All right, child. We heard some weird shit today. How about that? Like we always hear some weird shit, but here we go.
It's been weird.
Every time. I don't know why it goes to my damn.
I made the conscious decision to stop washing my hands. I think when I was in college.
You heard right.
Was it college for you? I don't know. That's what I remember because one of my good friends from college also doesn't wash her hands, and it was like how we had that bonding experience. One day I was like, I'm just not gonna wash them. She was like, I'm not either. I don't wash my hands. I don't really trust people that wash their hands because. Well, one, I don't think it does anything to actually wash. It doesn't do anything to actually wash them.
Guys, if you couldn't hear my exacerbated sigh,
So that was some 2 white girls. I don't know from where. They're giving possibly good 22 to 25.
Maybe.
And I heard this is also something that someone else said. I was at the bar, we were just asking around, does anyone use a washcloth? And of course, the white man said, no, he doesn't. And then he says, well, we're like, you don't exfoliate. Like, if you're just using your hand, you're not exfoliating. You're not, like, getting, the dead.
You're not really getting the dead skin cells and stuff
off. He was like, well, that's even nastier to wash with the washcloth, da-da-da-da. Because then that's why you wash your washcloth.
I'm sorry, wait, now finish that statement. What was his reason for it being nasty to use a washcloth? What was his reason?
Because the dead skin is on there, and now you have a dirty towel.
Nigga, you washed the washcloth. What are we talking about? It doesn't.
So this kind of gets back to. We
went from not washing our legs to not using washcloths to not washing hands.
That's why I was sick the other day, probably because one of y'all motherfuckers walking around this
dirty,
bitch.
fucking dirty-fingered motherfuckers.
And so now, like you said earlier, so you wasn't washing your hands all of the pandemic? All of the pandemic?
Like, what the fuck?
You was just out here not giving a fuck? Like,
ooh,
what do you mean?
The more I sip this, the more I'm getting dark chocolate.
Like,
ooh, I forgot the group can see.
Everybody can see it.
Oh,
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, sorry I was about to veer off track,
but yeah, child. Please wash your fucking hands. That's just a public service announcement. PSA,
please
PSA.
Wash your hands.
We're gonna start
please
off with that.
Be weary of whose hands you shake.
Oh Lord, y'all out here with
keep
booty
doing
hands?
it. Keep doing the elbow bumps.
Wiping your ass and not washing your hands.
That's disgusting, bitch. When she uses the restroom,
so you're just like,
what if you're using thin toilet paper and it get a hole break in your toilet paper,
that bitch is not
and now you're not scrubbing under them fingernails, girl.
We will have the link so you can see these bitches.
Oh, because we're gonna make sure you see their faces so that in case you ever come in contact with these people, you do not touch them.
Just don't look.
It's giving filth.
It's
giving filth. It's giving disease.
What do we mean?
It's giving disease.
What are we talking about?
1000%.
You don't ever touch a food, so you just go take a shit, then go make some hamburgers?
No, fucking making a hamburger. If you want to make your own feces-filled hamburger, that's your business. But you don't wash your hands, and you go into public restaurants. You don't wash your hands. You use a bathroom at a fucking like Trellix or fucking, I don't know. These bitches like they live in California, Nobu or something. I don't know where you people dine, but you go wherever you're dining at. You go into that bathroom. Fucking, you walk in the building. Fuck going to the bathroom. You walk in the building not having washed your hands. So you're touching food, you're touching forks, you're touching fucking napkins, you're touching glassware. Literally. Then you're going into the bathroom sharing a space with other people.
Right.
Not washing your hands. So you're touching doorknobs. I mean, I don't touch these things with my hands anyway for this exact reason. I'm paranoid. But, ew. To just know in real life that there are people who think this way and behave and walk through the world this way. Literally. And are a walking endangerment to others.
Literally.
It skeeves me out.
Literally.
It skeeves me out.
It's too much.
Makes my skin crawl.
Honey. Hunty.
Like, baby girl.
Hunty.
Baby girl.
What are we talking about?
Like, I don't get it.
But, at the same time, I kind of do get it because black people had to show white people how to bathe anyway, so it's kind of in your
That's
genes.
True. They was just kind of dunking themselves in the river and, like, calling it a day.
Okay. Wow.
When getting up under them pits.
Wash your hands, everybody. We just want to start
Wash your hands, wash your ass, wash your legs.
Like, this is how things spread.
Wash your feet. That's where we have our biggest pores.
That's true.
Bottoms of our feet, in case y'all didn't know.
I need to do a feet. I need to do a detox.
I want to do one of those foot detox. I haven't done one in a while.
Long time.
The last time I went was for my mom's birthday.
Yeah.
I went to this black-owned spot. I think I told you about this.
God, we had
bitch. And we were sick after it. Yeah. And I was like, what the entire fuck? So now I got to go back to my original spot. I'm pranked. She's still open. Haven't been since before the pandemic. But my old spot in Southeast. Yes, because she knew everything she was talking about.
New in Philadelphia? What if I find I know.
It's got to be like a really reputable spot already established. I ain't giving nobody no new chances no more. If they're established, they got the reviews on it and shit. I'm willing.
No, we're not talking the whole. We're just talking feet detox. They're talking
just
the whole.
No, that's it. No, that's what I'm saying. Even that though, you dealing with eons and electric kinetics, this shit. Nah, I ain't got time to be nauseous after all that shit my mother went through. No.
That's so true.
I ain't got time for that shit on my birthday. I'm not doing it. Not doing it. Guess what else to do it?
I'm gonna look it up. 'Cause I did want to try to put some kind of like spa aspect into
You know that's my vibe. So
but that is hilarious.
That's funny as fuck.
We go see.
I'm hitting up the spa this Thursday. I can't wait.
Yay!
We're doing it technically for Monica's birthday, but it's kind of the halfway point between mine and hers. So like, it's for both our birthdays.
She already went out of town.
Bitch, yeah, she was in St. Lucia living her best life, child.
They're having their carnival.
Her
right
and
now.
Boo extended their stay while they was there.
Oh,
I was like, okay, yes,
okay,
y'all.
Anthony, we waiting.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways,
right, we waiting.
we waiting. I know you don't watch this, so you will never see it. But yes,
right. And by the time you see it, be too late.
And everybody else knows no clue what I'm talking about. But yes, child, that's crazy. Wash
People out here not washing their hands. Beware of the non-hand washers. I would. Now I'm zooming in on everybody's hands. If anything's under your fingernail, get away from me. I don't care if that just happened 2 seconds before you saw me. Get away from me. I can't afford to take that chance.
That's so real. That's so real. Like, as a person that has eczema, I scratch a lot, so I'm constantly cleaning my nails and have to constantly clean my hands. So that definitely happens to me. But like, child, I don't know about the rest of y'all motherfuckers.
Right. Like,
my shit is a lot. That's too much, honey.
Too much.
Do we want to do a second sip?
We're gonna do our second.
Let's
sip.
do a second sip, and then we're gonna get into the rest of this crazy ass.
We over the world.
It's so much going on, honey.
Oh God. Okay, second sip. We moved into Baltimore. UTD. With Old Line American Single Malt Double Oak Series Armagnac cask finish. Now, we're moving into Sealbox territory. Claremont is actually about to be available at Sealbox very, very soon. It's not up on the site yet, but it will be. Old Line Armagnac cask and Cognac cask finish are both currently available at sealbox.com and on the Sealbox app. Use the promo code SOUL for free shipping on your orders for any bottles from the Sealbox website. So with that being said, we're now onto Old Line Armagnac cask finish. After over 3.5 years of new American oak cask aging, this expression of the single malt is matured for an additional 1.5 years in an Armagnac cask and then bottled at 100 proof.
Okay, yes. So we're getting a 5 year altogether.
Yeah, 5 year total.
Okay, awesome.
I like that. 1.5 years in an Armagnac cask. Okay.
Proof.
Not mad at that. Yeah, and it's 100 proof. Nice
black
and fruity.
cherry.
Mm-hmm.
Grapes. Blackberry.
Ooh, you're getting blackberry.
Because it's not quite blueberry, but it's not.
You know what? Yes, there's a little tart to it.
Yeah.
I'm getting a tinge of like a little caramel.
Okay, I was literally about to say that, but I'm like, what
you're not off.
Stage is it?
Right.
That's when I started to ask myself.
Super light. So I just posted a review on my page, right? And now I'm getting, just like I was getting into the levels of leathers, I'm getting into these levels of caramel now. The caramel I was getting on this bourbon barrel that we had picked some months ago.
Yes.
Literally is Frey Ranch.
Yeah.
Just that caramel chip that goes on top of a creme brulee, just the chip. And I've had it outside of a creme brulee form, which is why I didn't specify like creme brulee, because I don't want to take it quite there. Like literally, if you have a dessert where they're just being fancy and do a caramel chip, it's that. It was that caramel for me. Super light, but very much you could tell it's caramel.
Yeah. No, literally when you were saying it, I was like, is this caramel?
Mm-hmm. It's definitely caramel. Ooh, that berry. The more I smell, that berry is coming through way more pronounced.
Did I just smell peach? Hold on.
Is that what I just got a whiff of? Because I got like a random, like, pronounced fruit whiff in my left nostril.
I'm going to go with peach. I'm going to go with, yes, literally. I'm going to go with peach.
And it's happening to my left side. Yeah. Wow, that's interesting. Okay, peach.
Okay, peach. When
I tried my new little intro today on my video, I was like, the people who know me are going to get such a kick out of that.
I did get a kick out of it.
I said, the people who actually know me and fuck with me are going to laugh so hard at peaches.
I loved it.
I was like,
to come through.
I was like, you know what, Will? This is for you. Because he'd be like, I love when you say peach. Him and Julia. Shout out to Julia. I miss you, girl. Hey, titties.
When you were up there?
When I was in it, no.
Oh, damn.
You know what, bitch? And that's my fault because I didn't even reach out. That's my fucking fault. I was being really lazy, actually. Yeah. I was really enjoying just being at Will's house and snuggling with his dog.
Also, it's just so expensive to move around.
It's expensive as fuck. Like, and I was spending a lot of bread.
You were going like they're not close to each other either.
Not at all. It was a $60 Uber.
Yeah.
I think the Wednesday, the time of day that I went, I got it under 60. I think it was like 45. But still, there and back, bitch.
That's $90.
Nigga. That's basically $100.
I didn't even eat yet.
I had not even eaten.
That's why I was like, I'm not going.
And I went to his house and ate there.
Period.
Because what the fuck? That was my budget for the day.
Honey, I'm not going.
Like, what are we talking about?
You're not catching me.
Mm-mm. Catch me when you have me.
Okay.
I saw all the faces I really cared to see while I was there.
Period.
The old line. Wow. A lot of pepper in the front.
Oh.
It's nice.
Literally.
But that fruit is like immediately after. Well.
And pepper's deadly.
Yeah. It's definitely not a one note on the pepper.
No. Okay,
Mouthfeel is like another waxy one.
Yes, definitely on my tongue, on my palate.
Yeah.
Instead of on my roof. It's on my tongue.
Yeah.
But also for me, it reminds me of some kind of red wine, maybe a Gamay, maybe something like that, where it's just like immediate pepper and fruit. If that makes any sense. Wow,
Gamay, that's a good pull. That's a good pull.
Like,
because I get exactly what you mean. I wouldn't have necessarily known off the top of my head which grape to call out. Like I would have had to taste through a couple.
I just remember every time I taste Gamay, it's like deep, dark berries, pepper.
Right in the front.
Yeah.
Right in the kisser. I don't know if it's more cacao than just chocolate. Like, because it's getting very raw. Very dry. That's good.
Yeah. Ooh. Beautiful black pepper on that. Like ground. That's really nice.
Would you call the finish long on this? I feel like all the pronounced notes kind of taper off.
They kind of taper off.
Giving like medium.
Yeah.
I would say more medium than long.
Not like the other one where the front was like, and then the end.
And then the end gave us everything.
Yeah.
Everything was on the finish.
Everything.
I wonder if I guess they kind of did do it on purpose. They tasted it and bottled it and put a label on it. So, because I'm just thinking to myself, like, did they intend for it to be that way?
I feel like.
Or they were like,
I feel like if I could taste all these things, you taste all these things. They could definitely taste all those things. Put it in there.
For sure.
Like, you weren't just like, how amazing. I think that definitely that people can surprise you, right? Like, you haven't tasted all the things that I'm saying, but I feel like you know what I'm talking about at least.
Right. No, agreed.
Okay.
Ooh,
yes.
Lord, Adita's going off in the chat. Oh God. What are y'all doing?
What is y'all doing out here? What are you people doing? What is y'all doing?
What are you people doing?
So what y'all not doing is trying to split the check, supposedly. Go ahead and hit into our with it or not, okay?
Okay. With it or not.
Y'all motherfuckers out here acting like y'all can't
acting like
a damn
savages.
Check. Stop. Hold on. We'll just go ahead and get into it. We're just gonna go ahead and get into it.
I'm not splitting the bill, shawty. That's crazy. You expect us to split the bill? You got lamb chop. You got steak. You got some other. Look at all that. Look at what all they got. They talking about splitting the bill. What did you come out for?
We can listen to here. See what he said.
I don't know how true it is, but they say the bill was $4,600. $4,600.
46. The bill? Her birthday bill.
It's hard to not find yourself in the same situation as these young men. Wow. Look up the menu before you go to the restaurant.
Period.
That's just first and foremost. Call it broke. Call it whatever you want to. Shout out, if I don't want to spend $600 on your birthday,
period.
I'm not spending $600
period.
on your birthday. Number two, and people gonna hate this, but I don't care. I'm showing up late and I'm ordering from the bar, or I'm coming having already ate.
Right.
I'll sit down and I'll have some drinks.
Right.
And then I might slide you a little something like, hey, this is for your dinner and your troubles and happy birthday.
Right.
And I'm leaving early. Yes, showing up late.
Leaving early.
1,000%.
I've done it multiple times.
And this might be the best way to not find yourself in this type of situation. And that is, don't go.
Correct.
You don't have to go to the birthday dinner. They might get mad. They might get over it. They might not. It's okay. Guess what? Here's some money. I'm not coming. I don't do big birthday dinners because you'll find yourself in a situation. Holla.
Holla. Here's the thing.
And I mean, this man is standing up. You got steak. You got this. Then the fuck is you out here for? I'm gonna say there's probably like that was probably like 12 people. It seemed like it was like 8 and 8, so maybe even more than that. On the table.
About 16, 12 to 16. Here's
12
the thing
to
about
16, 4,600, depending on where you at, that makes sense.
I 1000% agree that I'm not going to a dinner that big.
No, I'm not trying to be in a dinner.
I'm not going to a dinner that big. Nope. Me personally, if it's not already clear that I'm separating my check. But here's the thing about me. If I do go to a dinner that big, I pull the waiter aside and I say, my stuff that I get, make that a separate check. I don't care what your policy is. And I let them know, I'm industry. I don't give a fuck what your policy is. You put in on your POS at my particular chair at this table, I'm getting this, this, and this. You separate that bitch off and you print it out and you hand it to me. What they still gotta do is their business. I have no parts of that. I did that at the motherfucking comedy club for my mother's birthday. I wasn't getting up in that shit.
What happened?
No.
How many people was at the comedy club?
So there was a big group of us at the comedy club. Now it was more than 10 of us. Oof. Now, me and Ra arrived there. We weren't the last to arrive, but we weren't the first.
Yeah.
A lot of people had already been seated. So the girl's going around. She's got one of them toast handheld joints. I already know how that go. You can't tell me you can't split nothing. So before she even takes my order, I say, her and I, referring to myself and my wife, we're one check. She already knows off bucks. Anything that we put in is one check. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming everybody did this.
No.
I didn't ask nobody. It's not my conversation to have. So by the time it gets to the end, they got this big ass check for the rest of the table.
100%.
Everybody's looking around confused and bewildered and befuddled.
100%.
And sitting there calculating, and people never include the tax when they try to call, when they try to put in what they ordered, they never include the tax. So there's always one person left with the tax on their bill.
That's why you got to just do the total and split. That's it. At that point,
you do the total and split.
We already
correct
here.
Because everybody got to pay on that tax, baby. Like fuck that.
Everybody was here ordering shit. If this is this big, it wasn't one person.
It wasn't one person ordering shit, and everybody got multiple things.
So
because they were under the impression there was a 2-item minimum order. So everyone ordered at least 2 things. And so now me and my wife only ordered 1 because I said, you're not going to tell me what to order. But this bitch already ate.
That's 2. Between you 2 is 2.
Exactly. And that's how I played it. But they said 2 per ticket. I was like, ticket could be in receipt. So we just going to leave that open for interpretation.
Ticket?
Yes.
What the fuck does that mean?
Like 2 per ticket entry ticket.
Yeah, that's what you'll get.
No, we did 1 item per entry ticket. But that was 2 total. And for me, the ticket was the receipt. That's what I said. I left it open for interpretation. Who gonna check me, boo?
No one.
And that's how I treated it.
Period.
And it wasn't a problem. But for everybody else, it's all this confusion at the end about who got what and all this. And we ordered this, so what they paid didn't include tax. And so at the end, somebody got left paying more money than they were supposed to pay.
Oh my God.
So I don't do the big group dinner stuff. And if I do, and if I'm coming up and eating and all that, I'm not worried about what the group is doing. I don't even ask what the group is doing. I speak to the waiter directly. I let them know mine is separate. All of that they agreed to is their business. I'm just here to support. My bill's separate. And you know what? I always just, even if I don't plan to leave early, I'm gonna be dipping out a little bit early. I want to make sure I pay for my portion. Can you just do my check separate? And I leave it like that. Yeah. They tend to not have a problem. Pro tip, y'all. They tend to not have a problem if you communicate to them in advance instead of waiting until the end to be like, oh, well, I didn't order all this. You clocking who got steak and who got this and who got that. You should have clocked that in the beginning.
And so what y'all need to understand is that it is not an automatic given that everybody, once you sit down, that I'm watching where, as a person that motherfucking works at a bar during the week,
watching who got what, who ate what, and all that.
Not sitting down and be like, oh, the motherfucker in the red shirt had this, and this. Right. I'm not doing that.
Right.
At our place, at Allegory, we're not splitting anybody's check. We don't care how small or big. You don't get a split check at Allegory. Now, I like to tell people that, especially if there's 6 or more of y'all motherfuckers, when they sit down. Oh, and just to let you know, the checks are not split here, but we can take up to multiple cards. That we could do for you. So then at that point, y'all going to have to figure out if y'all want to write down who got what price, or if y'all want to do some Apple Pay and all the other digital payments that we have on our phones. Right. That gives you an instant down. to your account so that you can swipe the card.
So,
but anyways, we don't do that. Secondly, on my personal thing, I like to go and ask when I sit down. If I'm at a table of 10 people, I like to ask the waiter. Well, one, I would just go ahead and be big boss anyway. And like, I came out to spend money, blue, whatever it comes to. I'm equal split sounds good. If I don't feel comfortable that my wallet is not looking like an equal split type of day, I'm gonna ask, are y'all able to split checks here or not? If not, I'm gonna let somebody know, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and send you my portion for what I got so that you can send your down because I don't have it to be an even split with you today.
Right.
Like, that's just what it's gonna have to be.
Right.
And Aruba, shout outs to Julia, baby girl, put her card down and said she didn't give a motherfucking fuck.
Shout out to the lawyers. Shout out to lawyer friends.
I mean, it was, I don't know, it was a big ass table. Maybe because the table was wide, but it was a big ass table. That bitch
it was
like,
a big table.
Shout out to my baby girl, Julia. But see,
shout out to Julia. Like that.
If you're going to have a birthday party, and you know you got some ghetto ass friends, not to say ghetto, but
no, it's ghetto. It's
that
ghetto.
are going to be mad that they are going to have to split a check with the rest of the table. You should probably let them know in advance.
Right.
You know your friends.
Right.
You invited them.
Right.
You did.
You did.
And then also on the other side, it's your friend's birthday. Sit down and shut the fuck up. If you couldn't afford it, you shouldn't have came out.
I agree and disagree with that.
If you couldn't afford it, you should.
I agree. Don't go out if you can't afford it. However,
let somebody know.
Let someone know. I agree with the communication part. Like for my mom's birthday, because we learned our lesson last year. My mother's birthday. My mother's birthday was a shit show last year. Her birthday dinner. It was a shit show. She ordered a bunch of rounds of tequila shots for the group, but then expected the group to all pay for them at the end. Like, it was a lot of not communicated things being ordered, but then expecting someone else to pay for what someone else ordered type of thing. And it was just a very expensive birthday dinner for individuals who it wasn't their birthday. And so this year, my wife and I were like, we know what we're going to spend, and we're not spending more than that.
That's real.
And it worked out.
Yeah, that's real.
It worked out, and it's still my mother was taking care of all things, but like we wasn't going for people ordering rounds of shots and shit, and then it's left for everybody to pay for them who didn't order them.
In Aruba, I was the one ordering shots, and guess who was paying for them? Me. I did that. I paid for them. No one asked for them.
I'm a firm believer of like whoever asks for them pays for them.
100%.
Like if you're buying around, the next person buys around, the next person buys around, or whatever. Now that's cool.
Let you tell you something else. What I don't like is say I'm talking to because someone tried to pull this one time. And close ass friends. Hello, you know who it was because I went off on you about it a little bit, but. I've been somewhere where I'm like, friend says, I don't got it today. I'm like, cool. I'm the one that's getting it for you today. That does not mean.
That don't mean go crazy.
I'm Big Daddy.
You're not big balling on somebody else's.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting here, make sure that we take care of, and then you invite somebody else on my tab. That's the problem. How you gonna sit here and say, oh yeah, just put it on Capri's tab? Who the fuck said bitch, I'm not a brand ambassador anymore. Don't put nothing on my motherfucking tab, honey.
Correct.
I don't got that company card. I don't have that corporate card yet. Again,
this is not on Bacardi today.
That's not what that means. It means me and you are taken care of. And as soon as I heard it out the peripheral, because a bitch got bartender ears, I immediately went to the bartender and said, was that on my tab? I said, okay, that's the last one. And I cut that shit off.
Right, correct.
And I turned around and said, did you put his on my tab? And of course, one of the motherfuckers was like, oh, I don't know. He said he had it. And I looked at that motherfucker, I was like,
excuse me, what?
And I looked at him, I was like, yes, child, I'll tell you who
I was going to say, I ain't going to put him on blast on the mic, but.
I was confused. It was real quick. It was real smooth, and we got it done. It was just a few beers, but at the same time,
still, fuck that.
If I wasn't paying attention, or if
it would have went extra left,
I would have been confused because the bitch wasn't trying to spend as more than what I did. Right. So no, we're not doing this. We're not. You need to communicate at all times, no matter what. Do not assume that the waiter is looking at whoever's got anything going on. We don't know who you are. We're not paying attention to the one side of chicken that you got with the salad, and then your ass want to switch seats anyway. So then we're confused because we put everything by seat.
By seat,
like
right?
No,
right.
You need to communicate with either the person you're going to the party with, the waitress, wait person, and. That's and
your inner self. And talk to your bank because for real because this shit is ghetto. Ain't nobody has time for that. I'm grateful that the people that I do enjoy dining with don't subscribe to these ghetto behaviors because it's just not.
Right.
I don't have the energy for it. I don't have the patience for it. Mentally, I'm checked out before the check even arrives. Right. I don't have time. At that point, it's just, what the fuck is the total? Like, but that's also why I like to dine with people where we're eating family style, because there is no conversation around who had what, who ate what, who did this, that, and the third. Like, if we all like to try different things and we all like to sit and commune and dine and pick off each other's plates and do all the things, like, I enjoy that style of dining. So I prefer to dine with people who dine that way.
Right.
If I can help it. And it makes it very easy when the check comes because everyone had everything. There's nothing to talk about. We all know what we had. And that usually means we're sharing wine and all the other things. So just makes it much easier for me. But in the event that it's not quite giving that, I at least like to be out with people who are not coming out here broke, because that also means that you're not going to tip well. And I hate that shit.
Right.
I have to really be dissatisfied to not tip well. So if you just by default not tipping well, you making me look crazy.
Right.
This wait person then dealt with all you motherfuckers. Then took all these orders. And if they managed to get them all right. And then you got the nerve to show up at the end, cheat, nickel and diamond, clocking who ate what, who drank what, who took a whiff of what, and all of that shit. And then you spend a little bit of pennies that you got, and none of that you never even thought about making sure you had enough for gratuity as well. Because a lot of people who do that nickel and diamond shit, when they allocate what they think they can afford to dine out with, they're typically not including a minimum 20% tip. That is very rarely in their mind. They'll think about it. They'll glaze over it. But they'll happily just be like, well, I got enough to eat and drink, and that's what I got. They'll take care of the tip. And there's a lot of mentality, like the same people who do that nickel and diamond shit, nickel and dime about that tip too.
So many mentalities.
It goes hand in hand like shit for real.
Literally.
Like, that shit is corny. I don't
like it.
If it was a question whether or not we with it, we not with it.
I don't like it. Like, at all whatsoever.
Consciously posted on Threads, right? Breaking news. I don't know if it's breaking news. I'm just talking shit.
Okay.
He says, damn, I agree with Dr. Umar for the first time.
Oh, no.
Time. What is he agreeing with Dr. Umar about?
Oh, no.
I wonder. This is going to be an impromptu for you guys.
Here we go.
So
Breaking
let's
news.
see what it gives.
Already, cause she got.
Hold up. No, go to the beginning now.
Cause she met men. She probably thought they was good. Some of them. They left her.
She knew they wasn't good.
You don't know that, bro.
She knew they wasn't good.
You're making assumptions about her.
If you look at the numbers, black men marry black women at an 87% rate, where black women marry outside of their race, or they marry outside at a 92%.
Black women do not. No, you're wrong.
That's percentages of
You're wrong.
That's not that much.
Black women do not marry out the race more than black men.
Correct.
But the percentages
Black
ain't that
women,
far off. That's what I'm
black
saying.
women have one of the highest, fastest growing interracial marriage rates. But her interracial marriage rate pales in comparison to what black men have been doing interracially for 4 or 5 decades. Black fathers are in the home more than any other group or race. But that has no value? It does have value, but we're going to put that up against the other statistic. 2/3 of our kids are being raised by the women. 2/3 of our kids are being raised by the women. And like I said, when I say being raised, I'm not saying it needs to be a father. I would like a father in that house. Yeah. But I know it's not enough of us to go around. Yeah. We are not even being accountable to the boys in the hood. And we're complaining about the women. I argue with women who are making babies with the irresponsible men that we didn't raise correctly. That's bullshit. All right. That's wimp-ass, weak man shit. Take responsibility for our shit. Stop scapegoating them. Yeah, I could agree to that. All I'm saying is look at all we could be doing better, man. Half the black boys in the 4th grade can't read. What black men doing about that systemically? Black boys are the most unemployed teenager in America. What black men doing about that? Pookie and Ray, you kept talking about. We letting them raise right before our eyes, and then we want to criticize her for ending up with one when we should have made sure there were none.
Listen, we all got choices. Just like if I choose to live a lifestyle,
You're dealing with individualism again. I can't
that's
deal with
part
that.
of choices.
No, it's not. We have to deal with this systemically. There's systemic factors at play. You totally divorce your analysis from any systemic factors at all. You ain't mentioned one. You keep talking about her and Pookie and Ray Ray with the kids. You ain't said shit about the systemics. That's exactly what white folks want you to do. That's what white folks want you to do.
I'm saying that
Ignore
I have made
what I've done to your women and scapegoat her. I don't mind us holding the women accountable. I don't mind us holding the men accountable.
Right?
Yeah. but when we're going to hold the system accountable as well.
That's fair.
And if we're going to hold the system accountable, that also means we got to make our own systems too. Black men have not been manly in quite some time when it comes to raising boys. How would you want the women back? Take care of these damn boys. They run in the hood, killing people at will, flunking out of school, following the lead of the gangster rappers. There's a whole bunch of stuff we can do that ain't got nothing to do with the women, boys and men. Do you understand? Deal with the boys and the men. Leave her out of it and go straight to the boys.
Correct.
Child.
In the words of consciously research over me search, education
Period.
is elevation.
Period.
And you niggas is dumb. Wow.
Crazy.
Wow.
We love it.
Not everybody has choices.
What does that even mean?
What the fuck does that even mean?
And if we are going by that, then why aren't you making the conscious choice to actually go out here and help black young men?
Correct. Now this was posted on TikTok by a Peace of Mind 2, the number 2.
Okay.
And then consciously shared it on Threads. So this is the first time he's agreed with Dr. Umar in a long time.
I'm not gonna lie.
I concur. I also agree with Dr. Umar because what?
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
No, but seriously, what are we talking about? You know, this is kind of crazy. I'm not going to lie. Because I want to kind of now think about the evolution of the black men's mind. Because, I mean, there's been a lot of work done to make sure that their mind has been broken, right? A lot of work done to break up, you know, the black community. There's been a lot of work done to do all of that thing. So it's funny to see we came from like the you know, black men head of the household, black men gotta have a job, black men this and that, to where we are now. And it's like, where did it start to fall apart? Not that it fell apart, where did it not be reinforced? Where did it not become still something to look forward to be, and then
be the head of household, you mean?
You know what's also kind of crazy? They were just the head of the household. Just wanted to, like, I feel like I need to have this responsibility. I feel like I should be bettering myself for the people around me. This community man. What happened to the community man?
What happened to it is exactly what Dr. Umar was talking about. The systemic issue of it all. The men that did still hold those values weren't perfect people.
Right.
They made some missteps, right? But the issue with it is, systemically, our government has set it up so that making a misstep literally changes the outlook of your entire life. You make a misstep, like having a fucking gram of weed on you at a certain period of time, you're in jail for 30 years for it. That's changing the entire... And you could have been a stand-up fucking dude. You could have been a stand-up husband. Could have been a stand-up fucking father. You could have been a pillar in your fucking community. But because you had a gram of weed on you, wasn't even planning to sell that shit. You just wanted to get high real quick.
Right. That's true.
You wanted to get high because your job stressed you the fuck out.
That's true.
And you got kids to raise.
Yeah.
You step outside how you a J every once in a while. But because you got caught with it by a racist-ass white officer, you were funneled through this system, put in front of a racist-ass judge. And now your entire life is in shambles. And your woman is now out here being forced to raise them kids by herself.
Literally.
And that happens repeatedly. They create environments, projects where they funnel people of a certain fucking financial circumstance or life circumstance or whatever have you. Put them all in an environment to perpetuate the same exact cycle. They create shit like private prisons where you're literally making money and hitting quotas with how many bodies you put on cots.
Right.
And that is literally how you turn a profit in the business of imprisonment.
Right.
And the bulk of the people that funnel through this system are black and brown.
Right.
That's why. That's how. You strip the fucking community of those people. You don't know that they care, that they're pulling pillars, that they're pulling people who do hold those traditional values, people who do value, I'll say men who do value being heads of household, being providers, being there for their children, being guides, being the light post. They're pulling those people out of the community. They don't really give a fuck if that's what they meant to the community or not.
For sure.
They don't give a shit about that. They're putting bodies in cots.
Yeah.
They want free labor.
Yeah.
They want to pay you $1 a day to work in a fucking factory for them while you're serving a sentence for your crime that caused zero harm to anybody but potentially yourself.
Right.
And this has been the case for decades.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. You're correct on that. There's nothing I can say against that. That's very true. I think for me is that like now we're getting these men who feel that they still need to have these moral standards, but they don't know how to meet them physically.
They want to put those standards on the women, but don't know how to show up as a counterpart to
and
that.
It's like, and even just themselves to it. They said, "Oh, well, we got to do this and that," and then it turns into blaming us more and more often
for why y'all don't do it.
Can't do it.
For why y'all don't do it, it's not you can't. For why they choose not to do it.
You know what? Damn, that really just showed me where we are right now.
We are where we always been. Black women have always taken the brunt of everything that's wrong with this country.
I mean, always, but like
always. But it shows you just in another way of how it happens.
Yeah, that's just too much.
Like, my nigga, you got a choice to choose a black woman. You got a choice to.
We all got choices.
We all got choices, my guy. Look in the fucking mirror.
Can you believe it? They will say some shit like that and not apply that to themselves.
And not apply it to themselves.
Ooh, Lord have mercy, y'all. Get on my nerves.
The audacity and unmitigated gall of you motherfuckers.
Oh, my God. I cannot. I really cannot with y'all motherfuckers.
Like, are you kidding me? We all got choices? And your choice is to, instead of looking at the actual root cause of the problem that affects both black men and women, you decide to blame black women for all the problems that exist in its entirety. And that's where you got. And that's the choice you made.
And that's where you got. And guess what?
And that's why Dr. Umar ragtagged your ass respectfully.
And that's why the white man won. Right there.
Divide and conquer has always been the goal. It has always been the goal.
Continuously victorious.
And which is why stuff like the Supreme Court perpetuating hate through policy, perpetuating division through policy. That's exactly, all of that serves the same goal, y'all.
Same goals.
Like, I just don't understand how people be so deep into the shit that they don't see that that's what's happening.
So deep into the shit.
Y'all need to come up for air, bruh.
Come up a little bit.
Like, y'all need to come up for air because I feel for you.
You know what's so sad? Usually it don't happen until you right about to die. Last breath.
It don't happen until it's right in your face and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Until it's too late. Until all them choices that you had that you could have made are no longer choices anymore.
I just don't even know what to do.
Because you sat here so blindly in your desire to create division and to create a space of separation and hate between yourself and people of your likeness.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, what? Now you don't even have the choice to come together. Nope. Because you've sat here blindly and passively allowed there to be policy put in place to prevent unity, to promote division, to promote and empower ways to segregate, whether it's racially, whether it's fucking orientationally or whatever the fuck the term should be for that. Like, just across all the things. Literally. All the ways in which they can make us forget that we're all just human. They're going to take every chance that they can to do that. And then you're passively empowering them to do it.
Literally. What are we?
What are we? Why are we?
Child, let's get to the third.
It's so sad you gotta laugh. It's so, I don't even know what to like.
There's nothing else we can do.
Like, there's nothing we can do but what we can do.
I mean, like, just even him talking about what's going on, black men teenagers being the most unemployed, all stuff like this. Like, right now, I think it's happening in most cities, but the amount of homicides happening by the hands of teenagers, boys,
because they're outside fucking bored. They're outside fucking bored. They're listening to music where other teenage boys are talking about killing people and talking about doing shit like they're grown ass men.
What are we doing?
And so it's just a cycle of perpetuating what you see the next person do.
I think every day, almost every day right now, I am either seeing a post of a person that died from a shooting. We're seeing the kids run around in the alleyways, or with people actually filming themselves being attacked by these young boys.
And filming themselves committing crimes.
Like,
filming themselves with illegal firearms. Filming themselves
at this point, we
with pounds of
need a motherfucking vigilante. Like, I don't know what else to say.
At this point, we need a fucking vigilante.
And hopefully it's Black Thunder.
We can't trust the police
Black
to do
Lightning.
it. Can't trust the government to do it. We need Black Lightning.
We need Black Lightning.
We need Black Lightning.
Reason why we need Black Lightning is because that motherfucker was actually here to protect the Black community, and at the same time,
had a moral compass too.
Come on,
had an actual
and
moral
Luke Cage,
compass.
Black Lightning and Luke Cage, come.
Period. I'm here
Please.
for Luke Cage too. I second that.
Jesus.
No shit. And the Black Panther.
I don't know, because at first he was trying to kill America, so I'm not sure about that. But now
we talking about Killmonger?
No, because remember his dad, the Black Panther, be generation past. The generation
before,
you're
right.
He didn't give a fuck about the black. Yeah, he didn't give a fuck about the black Americans.
Right about it. Sorry, if I was Native African, I probably wouldn't either. I'm not gonna hold you. Yes, I would because the issue started in Africa. So yes,
because
I would.
I can't blame y'all.
Nobody
for
told
being that way
y'all to be fucking
my
bartering.
The reason why you got there,
correct. Nobody told you to start bartering your prisoners of war like fucking cattle, and perpetuating what became the slave trade.
Y'all don't want to have that
because it's a two-way street there.
Ooh, y'all don't want to have that conversation.
It's a two-way street there. It's a two-way street there.
I really don't try to go to that.
They can't acquire prisoners of war if they're not being handed over. But we're not going to get into that today.
Not today. Because it's
not today. That's a separate episode for a separate time. We probably need a guest in for that one.
Yeah, we got some other stuff to do today.
Child. Oh, well, you know what? That was a perfect segue talking about the Black Panther.
The Black Panther.
And Killmonger.
This is very true. I would like for you all... Yeah, let's go on.
Should we do third sip and then get into this?
Should we get into this? Drink? Is that why I want to go into the third sip so quickly?
Probably, but we got 2 sips we already went through that we could drink.
That's true. Let's go into it. We'll get into it.
So let's get into it. Perfect segue.
So, of course, where I find all of my topics, scrolling the Instagrams. I follow...
Shout out to Instagram.
Yeah, shout out to Instagram. Literally my only source of anything. And somebody was like, it's really scary how much I depend on Instagram. I was like, shit, me too. I was scrolling and I follow this wonderful woman that is into all the worlds of anime and fantasy Marvel and everything that I am into, but she likes to talk about it through a Black lens and what it looks like from there. And so we're going to get into what she said.
MCU is telling us to stop looking for reparations. Spoilers if you aren't up to
date. And MCU is Marvel Comic Universe.
There's been something called the Killmonger effect, where the villain has a legitimate reason for being bad or pursuing or being an antagonist, and then they vilify them by making them an actual terrorist. And I ignored it for Killmonger. I was like, okay, it makes sense here. Then they did it with Namor, Carly, and now Garvik. It's like all the terrorists in the MCU are just asking for equality. And that's a dangerous rhetoric to push because it's saying in this day and age, and actually the MCU is in the future, the only way that marginalized people are going to get equality and reparations is through extreme terrorism. Also labeling terrorists as exclusively people of color changes the meaning of Rhodey being a Skrull. Because even the guy who's doing things the right way is a terrorist. You telling me the Skrulls fully infiltrated the government and world leaders in general and couldn't figure out a way to get a safe haven like New Asgard? They're literally in the position to pass those laws, and instead they're like, no, terrorism. It would also make sense why the leader of this group is a man of color, and I'm going to get into that in another video. Just think about it. MCU is telling us to stop.
Okay,
so think about it.
These are definitely spoilers, not really.
At this point, not really.
If you're into the MCU, New Asgard is how motherfucking Thor's whole fucking planet, all of his fucking people made their way, didn't even ask, just made their way to fucking Earth, and boom, now they have land. A land of white
This was in the last Thor, right?
I don't know where it's at. Maybe Ireland. I don't know. But technically, whole planet of led by a white person.
Asgardians. Because I remember them having to cross that little bridge.
Yes. And that goes into their way to, and they have a place on Earth.
Yeah.
Skrulls. Way before Asgardians were even trying to be on this motherfucking land. The Skrulls were running and, because... supposedly, I don't know that deep. I don't go that deep into MCU yet.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. Supposedly the scrolls are like the underlining of the MCU universe, where these people can change into anything, anybody, anyone. They can look like anyone. If you're watching the new Secret Invasion with Samuel L. Jackson, it's actually really good.
Oh, that's on Disney Plus?
Yes, it's really good.
I actually been wanting some new stuff to get into on Disney Plus. So I'm glad you said
that. Feels like a Marvel Shaft to me, but I'm
into that. Okay, you a bad mother. Shut your mouth.
But older, because I mean Samuel Jackson's old now. So like it's not like a crazy amount of action, but it's great acting and conversation. Mm-hmm. But the
probably gives a lot of context to whatever future movies come out too.
One that, and also context to what happened from Mrs. Marvel or Marvel. Captain Marvel. There we go.
Captain Marvel.
So this is connected to that, because if you watch Captain Marvel,
and I was confused in Captain Marvel, so I didn't pay all the way attention to it because I was confused.
Captain Marvel is based way before all these things.
Yeah,
way before.
Because they tried to make Samuel Jackson look young.
Exactly. Before he was even who he was now.
What's the CGI for me? Nick Fury.
Before Nick Fury was like big and bad and like, the top of all of what he is.
In charge of the Avengers.
He was this agent. And because of the Skrulls, he became higher up on top of the thing. And through the fucking show, we find out that the Skrulls are fucking everywhere. Mm-hmm. Right? So now we have this man. You'll see in the show, kind of spoilers, Nick Fury says that he's here to help them find a home, and he never does. So now we have this thing of like, well, what the fuck? We need a planet to stay on. We are planetless people. We are a planetless species. And so now it's like, well, we're going to have to fight
people.
Isn't that crazy?
That's scary.
So
I don't have time for planetless people to just make their way to Earth.
I think in Captain Marvel, I need to rewatch it. I guess they're showing us who was after the Skrulls, because I don't really fucking remember.
Yeah.
But when I was looking at that, I actually want to go back to that, because she does another one right after that did even more. Here we go.
Like Magneto or Killmonger to Malcolm X is an MCU comparison of characters like Magneto or Killmonger to Malcolm X is incorrect, and exactly what I mean by the Killmonger effect, changing the perceptions of people and revolution. Yesterday, I made a video about how the villains in the MCU use their personal injustices and struggles to justify terrorism. And I got so many comments talking about that's basically what the Black Panthers did and things like that. And that's the only way that we can achieve anything. I have to give y'all some pushback here, because the Black Panthers were not terrorists. They weren't blowing up things or killing innocent people. They were exercising their Second Amendment rights to protect their protest. And what they did was tell the government, if you fuck around, you will indeed find out. Malcolm X was daring the government to try him, using their own laws against them to protect his community. It scared these white people so much that the NRA, who is unyielding, decided to change their laws. Like, y'all, if anything, Malcolm X and the Black Panthers are closer to the X-Men, where they are saying, hey, we're going to protect ourselves and you guys maybe, but we will jump you. The easiest part about this is the suffragettes did the same thing. They were teaching these bitches karate. For some reason, it's the Black movement that's consistently used as an allegory for domestic terrorism. These characters are pushing that rhetoric. Comparison of characters.
So, I'm sorry, that's such a good look, because it really, we have to be so careful. And it even goes back to our last episode when we were doing the comparison of words that consciously has, like, really using the words that we are known today. We have to be careful of what we're saying. We cannot say that the Black Panthers and Malcolm X were terrorists.
Yeah,
they weren't doing any terrorism.
They weren't.
That is not what was going on.
Right.
Absolutely at all whatsoever. Now, terrorism is actually the Ku Klux Klan.
Correct.
That's terrorism.
Correct.
Terrorism is actually January 6th of these motherfuckers fucking
that is terrorism.
Capital. Like, let's really pay attention to what we're talking about. But it is very, very unnerving that we are seeing this. It is probably going to keep going on, because even with
Jonathan Majors.
Even with Jonathan Majors, as a villain too, and even if we're thinking about Thor and his, not Thor, but Thanos and his own thing, even though like people are like, I could get it, like we have to see this pattern. If this pattern keeps going on, it legit will influence the way that we see other things in our own worlds about how to change things. And then people that want to create change will see this way of violence and that's the only way to go about. Don't get me wrong now. There has never been a revolution without violence. I completely understand that. But if we're seeing that is the only way that us as a people of color are able to get past anything or should try to do anything, it is very dangerous because then
very dangerous for us.
Our people that are not us are going to be scared that that's all we're going to do.
It's going to perpetuate that narrative that we are a frightening people, that we are an aggressive and violent people.
Period.
And that when they look at us, whether we are meeting together as a group or whether we're individuals walking down the street, that there is something to be afraid of when they see us. It perpetuates that narrative. I looked up the definition of terrorism so that we could be very clear.
Let's do that
on what we're talking about.
That's great.
The unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians in the pursuit of political aims.
Boom. We already said who it was.
We said who it was.
Period.
The KKK, all they wanted was for whites to be superior again.
Yeah, still do.
The motherfucking, what's it called? The incineration. What the hell was it called? January 6th.
Child, I don't remember shit.
Y'all know the word. It'll come to us, but y'all know what it was. The terrorism of January 6th. What was the issue? We want Trump to stay in office. That's pretty much it. Be in arms, gather together, converge on the Capitol.
What are we talking about?
What are
we really talking?
But black people and the Arabs and the Muslims, as ones would like to perpetuate and have you believe, those are supposed to be the terrorists.
We are literally been trying. You see in history, terrorism has constantly came against us.
Correct.
In so many different ways. The different communities burned down. The different communities and street wars.
The amplification of Asian hate during the pandemic.
Honey.
Terrorism. Domestic. What do we call it? Domestic terrorism.
I don't know how many times we have to say it. These white people running around and doing mass shootings is terrorism.
Charleston shooting in the church, terrorism.
This is not self-defense.
Every single school shooting, I don't give a shit if they were claiming political aims or not. Terrorism.
And you know what might be the scariest thing is that this universe of Marvel that I love, the whole bottom line might be to push that rhetoric anyways. It probably has been since the beginning of time.
Very, very, very true, because we don't know where Stan Lee stands in regards to race relations, in regards to his own core internal beliefs.
Might have been it all the whole time, even though it feels like it's inclusive, right? Now we're like, it feels inclusive because now we're like, oh, look, these people can now play. I think the biggest thing for Hollywood is that people of color can play any kind of characters, right?
Correct.
We're no longer this stereotypical black.
We're no longer in the background
Asian
or support role
or whatever, or support roles that are always the same thing. We were able to play these dynamic characters, but that can now get kind of tricky if the dynamic characters are still pushing a rhetoric.
But here's the thing about the Marvel comic universe: there are plenty of white villains.
There are plenty of white villains.
Plenty of white villains, and 100%. So in that same vein of we could play anything, I'm not at the point where I feel like they're trying to perpetuate a certain narrative, because we've got the Lokis. We've got all the villains in fucking Spider-Man.
But what is the purpose of these villains? I think is where the narrative is fucking up. The purpose of these white villains, when you get to the white villains, especially if we're talking about what just happened with the fucking Spider-Verse, that motherfucker didn't give a fuck about nothing but revenge.
Yep.
Most of the time, it's revenge. Loki, he was at first just trying to be like, oh, he's a god of mischief, but then you get into it, he's actually jealous of Thor, and mad that he doesn't have any power.
Right.
And a lot of the white people are mad that they don't have any more power. They lost everything. I lost my family. I lost this, because you was messing around with something you wasn't supposed to be messing around, but because somebody else was there, you now want to put the blame on someone else, which white men do constantly.
That's true.
That's where it fucked me up.
Damn.
It's like the point of these people are being villainized for wanting to find a place to belong. Bitch. Or protect their own. Because they're talking about Namor from fucking Black Panther #2. He was trying to protect what?
That's his name under the water. Trying to protect his nation under the water. I forgot what it's called.
And the
they're trying to protect the vibranium. He's trying to protect the vibranium.
His own resources.
Yeah.
Villainized.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. That's crazy
as
I agree with that. But here's the thing: that he was villainized. All he wanted to do was come together in the first place.
That's all he
with Wakanda. That's all he wanted to do. We are the only two nations that have vibranium. We need to come together, and we need to be a strong force. Which I still agree with.
I agree.
Actually,
too.
I never disagreed with him.
Never.
I don't agree with him killing the queen mother.
Yeah,
he need a quick 2-piece for that shit.
And I also, but I could have been like the girl that built the thing. He was trying to kill the scientist too. I was like, you don't have to really kill her.
You had to kill her.
You can kidnap her.
You can kidnap her, hold her hostage, use her for her brain.
And you have to stay here now.
Correct. Like you live underwater, bitch.
Yeah, this is just you gotta live here now. Period. But I get it.
But
at the end of the day, I do kind of.
Damn, that gives perspective though. What you just said. Damn.
That shit fucked me out when I watched that. I said,
so basically, in order to want a place to belong, equal rights, or just autonomy over what you own and what's rightfully yours, and to protect that at all costs, or to fight for it at all costs, immediately makes you a villain / terrorist. Meanwhile, the good old boys who have no actual entitled rights to any of the shit that they fight for will fight tooth and nail. And then the orange-faced, toupee-wearing ex-leader of the free world will go on public platforms and call them motherfuckers good people. There's good people on both sides. I'm sorry, huh?
Shit.
They're literally fighting for nothing. Nothing but literal white power.
Nothing.
For white power.
Literally.
White power.
Girl.
That's what they fight for.
And for something they think they losing.
Something they think they're losing. They never lost it.
The
system still plays in your hand every chance you get.
You didn't actually have anything at all. That's why the system plays in your hand, because it's actually never yours.
Because here's the thing that they tend to forget. As much as the powers that be want to tote the Bible and want to put God behind their decision making and God behind just all the things, because we already know where they use these excuses and where they try to play those type of cards, even though there's supposed to be a separation of church and state. We know that that's not actually a thing. We know that. Those same people actually don't revere God for what God actually is at all.
No, at all whatsoever.
This is the same reason that people will faithfully refer to God, which has no gender, has no orientation, has no none of that. Referred to as a man. He this, he that. He gave us this. He blessed us that. He blesses this. He blesses that. That ain't shit but patriarchy.
Right.
And patriarchy in the name of the Lord. Patriarchy in the name of the Bible. Which is man-made and man-written and all that anyway. But I won't get into that. It's another episode for another day. I don't want to offend nobody. Because I'm not that girl. I'm not that Bible girl. My God is not in that book. That's just me.
That's real.
Because that book is used man-made to perpetuate a lot of evil.
Yeah.
And I could never tie my beliefs and my spiritual practice and how I walk through this world. I could never tie that to a book that has caused so much harm, so much damage, so much division, so much hatred. It caused so many people to take their own lives, to hate themselves, to not be willing to understand and love themselves. They literally
conquered the world with that book.
Yeah, really.
Crusades.
And burn other books in the name of this one book. Bitch.
Girl, damn, that's another episode.
This is getting dark. Maybe we should go there. But it's the real, y'all. It's the real.
Whole another episode. Like, girl, we don't talk about that shit enough.
No, not at all.
We really do not.
We need to figure out who among our people are like devout churchgoers or were or whatever. Like have some sort. I know that you come from the church. But like we need another person who also comes from church, because I just don't like as a young child. Yes, I went to church a lot because my great grandparents were avid churchgoers, but I don't come from the church. Like it was always a choice. I was definitely taking naps in the back.
I think Julia came from.
We need an episode with Julia anyway, so that'd be a nice 2-for-1 if that's the case. But girl,
that's a good question. That's a good question. That's a really good question. Oh, the Mayos.
Oh, the Mayos. They were churchgoers or are churchgoers.
We had that conversation during Friendsgiving.
Oh.
Yes. All right. I know y'all.
First of all, we did an episode with them too. Anyway, you know y'all gonna see this, so y'all
see this anyway.
Be ready. That'd be a good one too. Yeah,
I think that would be really
relationship
great.
questions and stuff.
I should talk to y'all about that. Yeah,
we got a lot we can talk about with y'all, so that'd be great.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Love it. You're coming on the show now.
Yeah.
How wonderful. But
Guys,
yes, isn't that crazy?
The world is wild. The world
And it's
is
just
wild. Human condition is wild.
Human conditioning.
Wild.
Like, I
blows
try
my mind
to tell
every day.
people all the time. There's so many things that have happened in this world as I've grown up that I read when I was in middle school and high school.
Yep.
There's just so many things where I'm like, and I mean fictional books, because a bitch is not a non-fictional girl. Like I'm a fictional. I'll be in the fictional world,
right?
But it was fictional books that I'm like, to this day, I'm like, damn, this was predicted. I don't even know how to feel about that. So that's why I'm like, this idea of what she was talking about of us making synonyms of terrorism and actually just trying to fight for your own people and protect your people.
Then we're always going to look at those people who are fighting to protect our rights, fighting to protect equality as terrorists. They're trying to train us through fantasy.
That's too much.
To apply that lens to our reality.
Woo, that's so much. That's so much.
Now I gotta keep looking at Marvel with a critical eye when I watch, because I'm still watch. But now I gotta look with a more critical eye at what the messaging is.
Legit though,
because that matters.
I did not think I was thinking of I kind of thought this way a little bit about the Batman villains. This is not MCU. Now we're getting into
DC Comics.
Because the Batman villains, I always see why do we praise Batman? He's a white person that's rich. He's
actually just another criminal, but he's wealthy and masked, and nobody actually knows who he is.
His villains are Poison Ivy, who just wants to grow plants and protect her plants and different things like that. Dr. Freeze, who's been trying to figure out how to solve the world's global warming. Like Batman's villains are people that are trying to do good.
These are actually people who have a cause for the greater good, but their way of going about it happens to be fucked up.
Yes.
AKA being labeled as a terrorist,
which is the worst.
And they're in
city.
Gotham, right?
The only way you really can do anything is be a criminal in that city. So it's as in Batman is a criminal himself, also. So it's just
but they put another word on it, vigilante.
And so
it makes it like a sub criminal, a lesser criminal, where their crimes are justified because they're stopping the crimes of others, but also while taking the same amount of lives, if not more, because he spends weeks and months ruminating over it while people die in the process, while he works out and is staying in cage jails and doing pull-ups and shit and figuring his life out and healing himself emotionally and doing all of the privileged rich white man things you do. You take a sabbatical in a cave and then come back out to fight the bad guy who's really just trying to save the masses, but we're protecting the 1%. It's a lot. And the police, because you're best friends with the commissioner, but he doesn't really know you to know that you're best friends. It's weird.
Okay. It's weird. I did save it. Okay, so talk about that.
Every version of it is weird.
If rent in Gotham was $300 a month for a 3-bedroom, would you move there?
No. Batman when he saves my ass.
When he sees my ass, but I smells like weed.
It smells weed on me.
So these people are staring off. The next one is, we reporting for Gotham and see the Joker terrorize the streets.
Oh no, I ain't messing with you.
We report for Gotham City and see the Joker terrorizing the streets.
Oh no, I ain't messing with you.
Okay, the next one.
Yeah, I ain't fucking with Joker, dog.
Me after Mr. Freeze attacks Gotham.
Shit getting out of hand now.
This man is in slippers with ankle socks and a mink coat. Talking about shit is getting out of hand. Oh my god.
After Mr. Freeze attacks Gotham in the summer, yo, it is.
I can't.
The next one.
I can't.
Y'all know that bit.
Me coming out of rubble after Batman used my crib as a shortcut. Wow. We got motherfucking James Brown coming up sweaty and curly head out the rubble to say his piece.
Oh my god. Batman after catching me scan oxtail as pineapples in Kroger. It's most
bust him in the head. I can't. Oh my god. And see, those type of lightweight criminals, them type of motherfuckers that Batman pop up on in the middle of the night. Oh my god!
This is the next one. This is a
Batman after I call him Bruce. Wait, Batman after I call him Bruce by accident. Oh, I can't. Oh my god! Of course we're gonna show links because this is hilarious.
This is so good. And then this one was me waking up to a message from the Riddler.
Not the N word, y'all. It's the hard ER on the wall.
From
Family Matters with the hard ER on the door. Oh my god, me trying to convince Batman to end Joker so I can get up in my apartment.
Shoot his ass. What are you gonna do, Lee? All you gotta do is pull that trigger back and bam! You're gonna spend the rest of your life hiding like your father. Man, don't let him talk about your daddy like that.
Correct. Shoot him, Lee.
Yes, hell you can, Lee. Ain't
Shoot him, Lee.
man. Go up on him, man. He trying to punk you. Shoot him! You ain't gonna shoot him. Come fool his ass.
Just trying to
Correct. Just trying to get to my apartment and you sitting here playing mind games with the Joker. I don't care if the rent was $3 in Gotham. I'm not staying there. It's not gonna be worth it. My insurance gonna be at least $1,000.
This one says Batman when he finds out I've been ignoring my calls about my student loans.
Ooh, not the Beyond Scared Straight, y'all. Ooh. Wait. Oh no. It's the stern whisper in his ear.
Which also made me feel weird about that.
And the harsh.
What episode that was?
And the aggressive shoulder squeeze.
Yeah, I think. And
it's called Beyond Scared Straight for a reason, bitch. They want you scared that you're going to get your booty poked.
That's exactly what it seemed like.
I'd be petrified. I'd be getting my booty poked up, and then you having a hard, stern whisper in my ear, and then you holding on to my shoulder meat real tough. Let go of my shoulder meat and get me out of here.
Still a very hilarious.
Nah, that's a fucking fact though. That's literally like the story of Batman is bullshit.
It really is.
He causes way more harm than good, either passively or directly.
He's killing people just driving through the city.
I watch it for the action, but like he's not a hero.
That motherfucker.
I don't look at Batman as anybody's hero, like at all. The Avengers really aren't either because they cause a lot of damage.
Damn.
And
that was what.
That's what's his name?
Captain America actually was like, we have to abide by the rules of the
government.
That too.
Also, Mr. Collect the Stones. What was his name? Thanos. So y'all basically killing off half the planet anyway.
Right.
Might as well erase the half and include erasing half of you motherfuckers and let us start fresh.
And he literally was like, and what did he say? I saved y'all. He was like, I really saved them. And then even if we look at, I can go down the whole Marvel.
We can go down the Marvel rabbit hole. That's another episode. You know what? We also need an episode with another Marvel avid watcher so that we can really have this talk. Because
I was going to say, because Thanos technically saved us. I'm not going to lie.
Technically, he hit the reset button.
He helped us.
And he did it painlessly.
He
snapped his fingers and niggas just turned to dust. It wasn't like your insides came out your body and you was in pain. You just paused, turned to dust, and everything reset.
It was random.
It was random.
Like, damn. That would have helped the earth. It would have actually helped everything.
It would have helped everything. It was giving COVID reset, where everyone was stuck in a house and then all of a sudden all of nature started to thrive again. It was giving that.
Listen, literally. Crazy shit, bro. Crazy. This shit is crazy, man.
Damn.
Let's go into this third sip.
Third sip, because that was a lot. That's a lot on the mental, child.
That was a lot on my mental.
We still at Old Lab right now in Baltimore. You do shoot. We are now sipping American Single Malt Double Oak Series Cognac Cask Finish.
Sure.
A total aging of over 5 1/3 years. Y'all do the math. I don't know what the fuck that means. 5 1/3 year total aging. So of that 5 1/3 year,
4 months.
15 months was spent in cognac casks.
Sure. 5 1/3 is 4 months.
Oh yeah, that was actually easy math. Yes, girl, you used your noodle. Yes. Okay, so 5 years, 4 months in total of aging. 15 of that 5 year, 4 month was in cognac casks.
Hurt.
So from there, I'll let y'all do the math.
From there.
That's hilarious. So that's basically what, a year and 3 months it's spent
15 is a year and 3 months. So then we got
take that from 5 years and 4 months.
4 and 1 month.
I was gonna say 4 years and a month. Look at us doing the math for y'all. Look at God.
That makes sense.
So a year and 3 months in cognac cask, also 100 proof like the previous. Fruity. I was gonna say fruity, grapey, cherry.
Cherry. And like
white grape and purple grape.
Kool-Aid grape.
Yeah. It's almost giving. It's not giving Welch's grape juice, but it's giving natural grape juice.
Yeah, it's not like
if I went to Whole Foods and bought a grape juice, I feel like I could imagine it would smell similar to this.
For me, it's like when you open a purple Kool-Aid packet, that powdery.
Oh, and that powder, that essence that comes off the top.
Yeah, just the powder just in your face.
If you know, you know, y'all.
If you know, yeah, there's nothing else.
There's no better way to explain that to you. If you know, you know.
But it doesn't feel. Like, I know that is artificial, but this doesn't feel.
Yeah, it doesn't give artificial,
smell,
but it gives that waft.
Yeah.
That grape essence that just passes by your nose real quick.
And honestly,
it's not a ton past that. There's that oak presence. Like, I smell the, like, wood spice, woodsiness.
100%. I mean.
Damn, am I getting vanilla bean?
Yeah, I was gonna say if I'm digging, I'm getting your regular, like you said,
your quintessentials.
Yeah,
like because I'm getting less caramel, more vanilla this time.
Maybe some honey.
I can see that raw honey. Maybe the honey. Maybe the honeycomb, like more soft. I've not been to the farmer's market not once this summer. Shame on me.
Gosh,
shame on me. It is my thing.
I feel like I haven't done a lot this summer.
I need to go this summer.
Be in this house.
I mean, this summer. I need to go this Sunday. No, I don't, because I leave Tuesday. What the fuck am I going for?
I
need to go when I come back.
Get my life together.
Right. Technically, I have a week to pack. I need to be doing that like now, though.
All right. Fucking James Brown shit.
Coming up out the rubble. Sweaty and curly hair. Sweaty and 4-seed.
Shut the fuck up, bro. Not the 4C, bro. Oh my god.
Just to give you an indication of how curly it was given. Okay. I wanted to make sure I had the visual. Because, baby,
bruh,
ain't nothing like that 4C sweat curl.
Make sure to cough up my whiskey. Shit. That is hilarious as fuck, bro. Oh my god, girl. That is hilarious as fuck.
Our black women would appreciate that one.
Yes, 100%.
Sweaty and 4C, y'all know exactly what that gives. Fresh out of Pilates class. Fresh out of hot yoga, bitch. You know what it gives.
You know exactly what's going on. Shit. Oh my god. I'm gonna drink this. Oh
I guess I had to keep it on my palate so I can get my notes. Okay. I am whew.
Bitch.
Okay. Some heat on this 100 proof. Okay. Oaky, initially. You get a lot of tannins on this one.
Yeah. Some kind of baking spices.
Mm-hmm. It's giving clove allspice, like those drier baking spices.
Yes.
And it's definitely giving ground.
Yes. And then also, like, maybe cacao in the finish there. Mm-hmm. Very dry, dark.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Mm-hmm. Now, is it giving coffee bean, coffee grounds?
Something powdery in coffee.
Yeah, I was going to say getting coffee grounds too.
Because I'm thinking like cold brew style.
Like nitro brew or whatever it's called. Like that.
Yeah.
Because the ones that I've had tend to be more mouth drying.
Yeah.
Like very much so. Way more than like drinking like a hot coffee.
Right.
Which is interesting.
That is actually very interesting.
I wonder if it also has to do with the method in which it's served, because it's usually coming out of like I've had a lot of cold brews coming off of like some sort of tap, so there's a lot of air happening, a lot of aeration, a lot of bubbles happening.
Right.
I don't know how that affects it. I'm sure it does because nature's nature.
Right.
That's interesting versus like a canned cold brew, which I haven't had yet.
Right.
Because it's very rare that I'm actually drinking a cold brew. I'm not gonna hold you. I like it in like espresso martinis and shit, but like a full on cold brew. Yeah, not putting on anything different. Long finish. All that cacao, coffee, allspice, clove, that type of stuff. All the way through the finish. It's all kind of intermingled. No one thing stands out any more pronounced than the other for the most part.
Really tasty.
It's definitely tasty. You definitely taste the cognac influence on it for sure. Thank you.
Cause
taste the cognac.
Yes, Talking about
God,
protection and self-defense.
It's the Segu for me.
You know, are consciously coming back again. I think we're gonna talk about it all the time.
We always gonna reference consciously because he gives us the content, honey.
There's nothing we can do about that.
We've now moved into our What's Tea segment of the podcast.
What's tea, honey?
What's tea? What's tea? What's tea?
Period.
What's the tea?
So through, I don't think we need to listen to the whole thing, but
okay.
Oh shit!
I got it.
Consciously posted something where a young woman and her wife were at an animal clinic.
Oh, yes. Let's set the scene. Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
See, and they, I guess, got into an argument with
some employees.
Something. You look
started with a female employee.
Right.
It started with a one-on-one with a female employee. We don't know what the disagreement was about. We don't even know what kind of pet they had.
Honestly, that's what
we just know they were at a veterinary clinic, got into it with a female employee initially. The remainder of the employees around, of course, start to bandwagon. They're all white. Not that you have to ask, but yes, they are all white in case you're wondering.
The video, they were the only black people in the vicinity that I could see.
Yeah, for sure. And so what had happened was, in the midst of that disagreement, the white counterparts tend to get more and more aggressive with them, to the point of getting in their personal space and physically touching them,
assaulting
aggressively. Assaulting them first. Inside the building, mind you. All on camera.
Yes.
Okay. Now, this is the video where she breaks it down, right?
Yes.
I think we should play the whole thing.
Let's play it. Okay.
I think we're
gonna play it. If it lets me. Okay, there we go. I don't know why we bringing up some random shit.
Shot a man outside a Shively clinic. Said she
this is just him reading the headline.
Woman who fatally shot a man outside a Shively clinic said she did to protect her wife.
I'm visually upset. I'm pissed. I'm actually more than upset. I'm fucking really, really angry because I just got assaulted. This lady right here, she's antagonizing me.
So I guess she got assaulted before either.
She's still antagonizing me, talking to me, saying stuff to me. My wife is trying to calm me down. She's telling me, look around the room, read the room. There's two of us in here. All of these people.
And all these white people.
Calm your ass down. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put my slides on. I put my shoes on. Right there, as you can see, I slip back in my shoes.
She had her shoes off. She ready to go.
I'm calming down. As you can see, my body tension's not even high anymore. But this lady right here continues to talk to me. She continues to say stuff to me.
Hey, when you're not gonna get played, we're not gonna get played with.
Period.
Let me go.
Ain't no leaving at that point.
So in Louisville, Kentucky, 2 black women go to an animal clinic to do what you do at animal clinics. Get your pet checked out of. Somehow, they get assaulted. Not only does this man put his hands on her and squirt with her like she'll do it on the streets, you see what I'm saying? The woman pulls out her weapon out of her purse and shows the man that she's strapped. Dude don't give a damn.
Clearly keeps on antagonizing me, keeps on trying to get me to start up. She's arguing with my wife now.
Continuing to pursue her.
Employee, but he's not. He doesn't look like an employee at all.
Oh, he wasn't? I thought they had the same. I thought they had the same black shirt on.
He goes out the doorway, smacks my bag.
Follows her outside. That's illegal.
He's on me at this point. He's squaring up with me.
Everybody has those scrubs, but she doesn't.
She
pull it out on. You can see her pull. Yep.
She shows her weapon.
He's still there. He's grabbing things out of the guard shack to throw at me and my wife. We are trying to exit the building. I put my bag back on my shoulder. We're exiting.
What we see right here is a woman using restraint, showing her preservation for humanity, and literally just trying to protect her significant other.
Yep.
But when we see the clip still go on, somehow it escalated.
So here's a moment. We just played this clip. This is me putting my item back into my bag. We exit out the building because I see people scared, so we exit out the building. I was walking straight. He threw the traffic cone from the side.
Threw a traffic cone at her.
Hits her with a right. I back up into the doorway. He's hitting her. They fighting across. He's got her up off of her feet. Let me play it back for you. She's not even on her feet anymore. My wife is 5'2". This man is 6 foot.
All of this is on camera.
My wife is off of her feet. He's choking her at this point. He's got both hands around her neck and he is choking her. My wife has one lung. At this point, my wife's eyes start to roll back and then I responded.
Yep.
No charges were filed, and what we see, that was obviously self-defense. Sometimes when you fuck around and find out,
it'll be the last time you fuck around.
Education is elevated.
Y'all better fucking stop We said.
Didn't we tell y'all leave black people alone? Didn't we tell y'all leave black people alone? We told y'all leave black women alone.
Y'all don't really care.
They don't care. Because guess why? The system has empowered them to think that regardless of what they do, whether they were wrong or right, regardless of what they do, they feel like they'll get away with it. Until they fuck around and find out it's going to cost you your life.
There's nothing you can do about that. Chill the fuck out.
And she was within her rights. Praise God.
Thank God that it's there for her on her side. I'm very happy about that.
It was all on camera and it was no he say, she say. She was within her rights and could prove it. Thank God.
You know what? I'm glad that it was solved, and it don't matter to me, but I do want to know what pet they had and what the fuck happened.
How did this even get there? I want to know how it got there. I like a little context. That's me personally.
So from what we just saw, seemed like she had already been
assaulted
before this all got to this point.
Yep.
Which is insane.
Yep.
Which is already insane by itself.
I mean to pick up my motherfucking dog. Why are you like...
clinic.
What are we talking about?
I shouldn't be getting assaulted by any of you motherfuckers in this bitch. How is talking about my pet got anything lead to me killing somebody?
Right. I'm here to make sure my motherfucking pet is all right.
But
I'm bringing my baby for her shots. And here you motherfuckers are taking shots at me. And now I got to literally shoot you because you are threatening mine and mine.
Boop.
My life and the life of mine.
And you know what? Hopefully that is a lesson to the man's family.
Hopefully it's a lesson to that establishment.
And hopefully it's a lesson to the rest of you old motherfuckers.
Correct. Hopefully it's a lesson to everybody that watch.
Just, y'all need to chill the fuck out.
Chill out. It's too much.
Like, is it worth your life? Because you never know. People are really carrying nowadays.
And people are tired.
People are tired. Carrying.
We licensed out here. Licensed to shoot.
Yeah. Chill out. Chill the fuck out. I'm gonna need to start wearing a bulletproof vest out this bitch because I'm not about to be catching those damn strays out this bitch with all this war going on. Y'all motherfuckers are tripping out here.
It's the strays for me.
It's the strays for me.
I'm more concerned about the shit that don't even have my name on it.
Listen.
Just happen to be in the wrong place, wrong time, walking through the wrong door, walking out the wrong door.
Listen.
Like on the wrong block.
Y'all and this gun violence is a lot, but I get it.
It's a lot.
But it's also a lot. Some of it I really don't get.
The senseless.
This I do.
This wasn't senseless.
This was not senseless.
This wasn't premeditated.
Nope.
This was actually, she attempted to avoid it at all costs.
She
but if it was between her life and yours, what are we talking about?
Listen.
There's nothing to talk about anymore.
And also, what the fuck was he about to do? Kill her wife?
He was about to choke her ass until she passed out.
No,
same thing that happened with happened with George Floyd. Same thing that happens with a lot of people.
Clack.
Fucking ridiculous.
Clack. Bitch. Y'all better stop playing out here. My dad do want to get me a gun though. I have not taken no classes. I don't like guns.
Definitely do.
I might get into like sword play or some
Girl,
shit.
You can't bring a knife to a gunfight, bitch. You gonna do all them fancy moves and then catch a fucking bullet to the sternum, bitch. Anybody got time?
I feel like I'm not afraid to stab people, but
you gotta get close enough to stab somebody. If you're close enough to stab somebody and they have a gun, bullets are faster.
Bullets are supposed to be faster, but a lot of these motherfuckers ain't doing no classes. These motherfuckers just got
shoot aimlessly.
They just
it's even more dangerous. Even more dangerous. Even more dangerous.
But I feel like if I'm getting robbed, I have enough time.
Oh, for sure. Because they getting close enough to try to take some shit up off you. If you keep a nice little knife up on you,
right in the gut.
Right in the kidney.
Or face. I really want to go for the eyeball, but that's the part too far.
I was going to say, nope. Get them low. Get them in a major organ.
I'm trying to make sure you're not lit.
Anatomically, learn just on the body where the major organs lie.
Have no violence, but
because just like a boxer knows how to punch somebody in the kidneys, they know where to hit them in their back to hit their kidney. You could puncture a motherfucker in the same place. Hate to say it like that, y'all. Sorry, I'm thinking self-defense wise. Only self-defense.
Everybody has to fucking take classes on how to kill a motherfucker to live in the world.
Bitch. I want to learn how to crack a motherfucking neck and kill him in one swoop. Me personally. I don't want to know how to monkey climb on your back, crack your neck, and just crack that spine so I ain't got to go through too much work.
Why can't we
That's the type of training that I want. I know that's some top level shit. But I'm gonna figure it out in my lifetime. Trust.
We can't even put this on Instagram.
I'm figuring out in my lifetime.
They won't even let us play this part.
No,
God, because I really want to hear what the rest of y'all fucking think.
I want to know what y'all think. 1,000%.
I'm so done with this shit.
Guess
bro.
where we can put it?
Motherfuckers can't even talk and get to reason. Oh, that's true. You put it on, probably can't even put it on Threads, but yeah, probably put it on Twitter.
Put it on Twitter.
Shit, who knows? Elon Musk might choose us today.
Right.
knows?
Because we still use your damn platform despite all of the people jumping ship. I'm not one of them. I happen to be one of those hybrids that use both for different purposes. Okay. Still appreciate Twitter for all the porn they allow. Because Instagram and a nudity thing for me, don't get it. But whatever. It's a family platform, I guess.
Yeah, is it? What is?
I said I guess. I don't know.
Oh,
Meta.
Oh, Meta. I don't think it's about
That's
family. I think it's more
what's
just
the
about
problem with nudity?
I think it's to keep up the aspects of what a perfect body looks like, because then we have like body positivity. I'm not even gonna lie, I really do think it's about that type of shit.
Okay.
And I also think that when it comes to that's like all different types of regulations that they probably don't want to deal with.
You know what? I think part of it is their guidelines around bullying and cyber this, cyber that, and all that, and the heightened amount of like revenge porn and like all that type of stuff that gets put out. I guess it's easier to be on the right side of things and not allow nudity at all.
Yeah,
so that when there is an issue of somebody taking shit too far and it's this personal squabble that makes it to social media, like the Rob Kardashian shit with Blac Chyna.
Right.
That lived on Twitter. That didn't live on Instagram.
Yeah.
And so, I get it for those type of things. Like, just stay on the right side of it at all times. Don't allow nudity at all. But they allow man ass.
They be close as fuck. They allow woman ass too.
They do? Okay, I was gonna say I be seeing naked man ass.
There's motherfuckers that do waxes that be having pretty much the whole cat out besides the cat.
But they don't let you see the labia.
Right, you just kind of just cover it, but you see
and just show
everything else around it. Bitch, these motherfuckers out here naked.
They finding ways.
You put a motherfucking all you need to do really is put a daggone pasty on.
Yeah, you technically not naked. It's areola. That's the problem. Once they see areola and nipple,
bitch, I don't know. I saw this video today with this bitch bouncing her titties, and I had never seen so many motherfuckers comment in my life. I was like, oh my god.
Well, that's the joy of big titties. It don't matter what the rules are. Titties gonna titty.
Of course, when you see a bitch bouncing the titties, of course some man be like, and y'all wonder why we treat you the way you do.
No, you're a fucking troglodyte and an asshole. You hate your mother. That's why you treat us the way you do, because you hate the women in your life. Nigga, that has nothing to do with us.
A bitch bouncing her titties that looks good to you means that you must now
you sexualize her. You want to have sex with her, but you don't respect her because you want to have sex with her. Make that make sense for me.
It makes no motherfucking sense.
You find me sexy. You find my attributes. You find my assets to be attractive to you, to the point of getting your little winker hard. But because it garnishes that response, you can't respect
treat me like a dog now?
Because you're not the only one that sees it.
That's crazy.
That's what it is. Because you're not the only eyes on it. You're not the only one lusting over it. Somehow that controls how respectable I am.
I'm not going back to this conversation, because that conversation actually makes me so pissed off.
I hate that conversation.
The amount of people that are in the world. First off, when you found the bitch you found in the first place, she was fine as a motherfucker when you found her.
Correct.
And then when she get with you, she's supposed to turn
all of a sudden no longer be fine?
Bitch, fuck out of here, bro. I can get on my fucking nerve.
Wow, random sidebar, because this is really random. First one? I just took a whiff of the Claremont, like just did a little side by side. I got cucumber skin.
I definitely get that. 100%.
Wow.
100% yes.
Cucumber skin.
100% yes.
That earth, that green vegetalness.
Yep.
It's exactly what it gives me.
Exactly what it is. Wow. Exactly what it is.
This is why I love whiskey, y'all. This is why I love spirits, but in particular whiskey. Wow.
It said it's hard I am. That's why this will go really good
hard,
in a main cocktail. If you don't know what the main family of cocktails, that's going to be lime, sugar, cucumber, and a little bit of mint. And this will be very delicious.
Lime, sugar, cucumber, and a little bit of mint. Ooh, I should make that tonight. That sounds great. Lime, sugar, cucumber, mint.
Yep, do like a daiquiri spec with your whiskey.
Yep.
Some fresh cucumber, fresh mint. Shake it. Straight up.
And I've been looking for more mint cocktails to do over the summer, because I have all this mint growing upstairs that I barely pluck.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be a good one.
Love that.
But child,
bitch, over the world.
Over all of you.
That's the theme.
Y'all can get
That's
on
the
my
theme.
nerves.
Over the world. That's nuts.
But
all the moral of that story is I'm happy she wasn't charged. She should not have been, so I'm happy she wasn't.
Ever. But here I am sitting here looking like, oh my God, I wish I knew anything. And I don't need to know anything, just like the rest of y'all motherfuckers didn't need to know anything about motherfucking Carly Russell making it back home.
Right. Bitch.
So, Carly Russell, a woman.
In case you've been under a rock.
case you didn't know, it was a young woman who
went missing. She was
quite a few people, which was actually what the weird part I think was for a lot of people is that a lot of people were posting this on, like, influencer wise, were posting her face on their Instagrams, which is great.
But they were doing the usual, like, it's the equivalent to somebody dies and people who maybe have met this person for all of 5 seconds manage to get a flick in the meantime and all that. Like, all of a sudden are posting to their page, oh, gone too soon. Oh, my heart can't take this.
I'm sorry,
one.
what?
Oh.
That's what they were posting?
No, not about her. I'm saying the energy is the equivalent to that, with the influencers posting her like they know her or care about her.
Yes.
Right? Like jumping on the bandwagon of like, this is news.
Yes.
I want to be on the right side of it.
Yes.
Let me post all the woe is me's about it. And it's the equivalent of when somebody dies, you don't really know them, but you might have one picture from like 5 years ago and you find that one picture to post on Instagram and put a bunch of crying emojis about how they're gone too soon. It's the equivalent of that in terms of energy, is all I'm saying.
Literally.
And so when it comes to Carly Russell, so this woman made a 911 phone call. She reported to be on a highway, reported to see a toddler walking on said highway, pulled over, called the police, and got out of her car in pursuit of said toddler to see what was going on. In the midst of this phone, it wasn't to the police. The phone call was to a family member, a brother's girlfriend.
Yes.
The call was to a brother's girlfriend. And so, here's the thing. They didn't have any audio of that call, right? No.
I haven't heard it.
No. I think it was just a report of what happened on the call. Okay. So, called the girlfriend. Says that there's this toddler. Why she called a girlfriend? The boyfriend's girlfriend instead of calling the police? I don't know. But that's neither here nor there. So, in the midst of this phone call, the girlfriend hears her ask the toddler, I think, if they were okay or something like that. After that, she hears a kerfuffle. She hears screaming. She doesn't hear a toddler respond at all. Doesn't hear the sound of what would be maybe a toddler or a young child or anything like that. Here's the scream. Here's a kerfuffle. Here's nothing else after that. Later, they find her car. They find her purse and things. They don't find her. Her as in Carly Russell.
Right.
Obviously, the assumption for us all is that she's been abducted.
Right.
Fast forward, as we all know, unless you've been living under said rock, that the news, of course, is circulating this. Her parents are coming out talking about it, praying for her to be found, to be brought home, all the things that any parent is going to do when they need help locating their child.
Right.
So, this immediately makes national news, not too long after it happened. So,
it was very fast.
It was very fast. The turnaround was very fast.
So, because I saw it on this gentleman's page who was talking about her, and he, like, talks about what happened, and he's just like, I can't believe this.
She's 5'4".
She like talks about the whole thing. And you know what?
This
I wonder
is Alabama.
This was toddler on the road, everything like that. And he was like, I don't understand this. How are people using toddlers to fucking take people? I think that's what was getting everybody.
Well,
this sounds like some movie type
here's
shit.
the thing. It's not far-fetched to me.
It's not far-fetched at all.
Seeing that children are being traded on the black market the same way full adult humans are.
It's not far-fetched at all.
It's not far-fetched for me that an abductor would go as far as to utilize the same child they may have abducted or purchased on the black market, right?
Right.
Use this toddler, but they're watching the whole time, so it's not like the toddler is out here aimlessly on the side of the highway.
Right.
They actually have somebody in a cut watching.
Right.
And so for me, the story wasn't that far-fetched because I'm like, people have done darker shit.
100%.
People do dark shit every day, unfortunately. Children, toddlers included, are utilized in a lot of dark ways, unfortunately, every day.
Yeah.
And so that didn't throw me off at all.
Yeah, sadly.
And actually, none of the story really threw me off, so to speak. I wasn't one of these people who had this visceral reaction to her being found quickly.
Right.
My immediate, just to keep in line with the story, y'all. So, of course, news circulates. Social media does what social media does. All the things go around. It's all national fodder at this point. Now, the way America's set up, people are desensitized to the fact that another black woman's missing, right? There are people posting about it. There are people who actually care. There are people who pretend to care. There are people who don't care at all. And it's just entertaining. And are just watching the story because they're like the avid ID channel watchers, the avid Snapped and Oxygen this, and weird Netflix serial killer documentary watcher that, and they're just into the story, and it's all very like detached for them. There's all this in the pool of conversation. So fast forward to now, news breaks that she was, well, not found, she was dropped off apparently at her actual home. And hello, hurrah, hurrah, hooray, hooray.
Yes.
She's alive. She's been found. She's traumatized. Hasn't spoken on much yet. The family is still speaking on her behalf. Naturally so.
Right.
When you've been through a few days of trauma, being abducted, fighting for your life, doing all the things, preparing for your potential death, demise, fucking trafficking, you just don't know. We don't know because we still don't know who abducted her. But moral of the story is she's been found. Apparently, there's a lot of conversation around whether or not this entire thing is a hoax. And I take issue with that being the immediate conversation.
I just don't understand why it would be.
Why is that the immediate conversation? My initial reaction when I saw that, I didn't even catch the conversation about whether or not it was unreal. I was just so happy to see the headline of she's been found. Family says she's traumatized.
I didn't even know she was found. I got more conversation about, I can't believe y'all are out here, like, you know, thinking that this is all fake. Yep. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, people are thinking it's fake? Mm-hmm. Like, why?
Didn't think it was fake until she was found. And granted, there's going to be a ton of think pieces out here on social media about it, right? Because everyone's a philosopher. Everyone has a thought. You know, everyone thinks their thought is most important.
Allows your opinions to
matter.
Cuckoo.
Writer. So,
if you're listening, quote unquote matter.
Correct.
Including ours, which we're doing.
Nah, for sure. So, with that being said, though, I saw how I got wind of the fact that people were even questioning whether it was real. I was starting to see responses from Black women, of course. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Ashton Berry, in particular, just like calling out motherfuckers out for like be like fetishizing.
Literally.
Well, so it's two-part. One, being desensitized to the abduction of Black women.
Literally.
And the second part of that is fetishizing and dehumanizing the story of these Black women, human beings, human bodies being abducted, trafficked, killed, raped, scarred. We don't know what all is happening to these people who did not ask for this.
Literally.
And everyone is so desensitized, thinking that everything is a fucking Netflix doc.
Right.
That there were visceral, like, negative and like disappointed even reactions to the outcome actually being positive to the story. To be fucking quite honest, I don't care to look into whether it was real or not. I'm happy the story ended with her being home. That's all I care about.
She's back with her family.
It's a happy ending for me.
What are we talking about?
Relatively happy. As happy as it could be.
Talk any more about anything else? Like, she's back with her family.
Period. That's all that should matter. It should be, whoo, thank God, prayer emoji, move on.
Literally, some people, I saw some comments saying, I guess there was a post where a lot of people were on, maybe a main one, I don't know, where somebody was like, I feel like my prayers were wasted.
What does that mean? Were you praying for her death?
Like, you mean that you should just kept praying and a mystery should have happened from there?
Here's my thing. Y'all would have rather this been a cold case?
Like, what are
where
we
she was
talking
never
about?
found and presumed dead, or whether she was found and was actually found deceased? Literally. Is that what y'all would have preferred? Because at the end of the day, I
found the one video I was looking for.
The beautiful thing is that she was found, period.
Like, that's what we're talking about. And so this is how I found out that she was found.
I'm very disappointed in a lot of you all behind Carly Russell. Ever since it was announced that she has been found, the internet has lost its mind. You all are now writing think pieces and whole dissertations on why this can't be right. You are not Medlock.
Why it can't be right.
You are not Olivia Benson. You are not Jessica Fletcher. Neither are you Columbo or Perry Mason. And you're definitely not Queen Mother Olivia Pope.
Period.
But as you know, people are fickle. They will scream hallelujah one day. That was yesterday and day before when we were all looking for her. And she was and still is a victim, and crucify the next. Which now you all have turned her into a villain. We were all praying for her to be found and found safe, and she was. And look what y'all do. And a lot of you all are being very accusatory. But as Kiki told Wendy, why, girl? Because the gag is you wasn't there. You don't know.
Period.
I just have to say that
the gag is.
Child.
The gag is.
Just what are we talking about? Like, I'm so confused.
You know, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You're damned if you die, you're damned if you live.
And see, we got people like this. I'm happy she's alive, but me being honest, the story never sounded right to me in the first place.
It doesn't have to sound right to you.
I just couldn't get over a child standing still on the highway without another car in sight.
Who said that it was standing still?
Who said there wasn't another car in sight?
What we don't have is her recalling her surroundings on that phone call.
No.
That wasn't the point of the phone call. The point of the phone call was, I'm zoomed in on a child that I see on the side of the highway. And so I'm going to see if that child's okay. We don't know if there was a car right here on the shoulder, only feet away from where she pulled over. She wouldn't have paid attention to that because we see cars on the shoulder all the time that need help. And she's not looking at that car. She's looking at that toddler.
Where is the child? I could go on and on how it didn't make sense to me, but I'll wait to hear the story.
Here's the thing. That car could have been even I'm not going to say a mile. Let's say a little less than a mile behind wherever she stopped, right? That's still within eyesight of the child, right?
Right.
It's within eyesight of whoever pulls over to see what's happening with that child.
Period.
All they have to do is pull up on that shoulder, grab her, and go. It's not undoable. Here's the thing. And if you're on a busy highway, nobody's paying close enough attention to catch what's going on long enough to stop, pull over, get it and respond. Because by the time you pull over and get out your car, the car that you trying to stop is gone.
Like, what are we talking about? What are we talking
Use your brain for 2 seconds. Perry Masons and Columbos and Julia Thatchers and Nancy Drews and motherfucking all the things.
Does it matter though? That is my
It doesn't matter. I didn't care if the story made sense. I cared about the story having a conclusion and that conclusion being the best possible conclusion.
Because it doesn't ever end like that.
Never. Almost never.
Almost never recently in our lifetime.
Unless the girl is white. Unless the girl is white. And even when that's the case, y'all not pressuring them to talk and give information and give all the details and give all the context and how did you do, how did this happen, how did this, that, and the third. You're not doing all that with these white girls. Gets home. Especially, this ain't even been a week.
Child, we're talking about the days ago.
Barely 7 days.
We're talking days ago.
Like what?
We're talking days ago.
Can they breathe? Can she process? Can she find a therapist? Can she get a hug? Can she cry into her pillow?
Hello?
Can she recoup on all her credit cards
Hello?
and her motherfucking license and her purses and her personal belongings and all her things? Can she gather her fucking faculties before you bombard her with accusations and questions and context and all this information that you feel entitled to that really y'all could go suck a mean, hard, sandpaper covered dick?
Period.
For real. If it was me.
Land up the ass.
And then take it up the Buddha hole.
Sorry.
Shout out to Mandy.
Okay.
Up the Buddha hole.
Y'all tripping.
Because y'all not entitled to none of that.
None of it.
None of it.
Get out of here.
I am grateful that she was found. She's okay.
Period.
Whether it was a hoax or not, bitch. Period. I'm happy for a happy ending.
Period.
I'm not invested in nothing else. I'm not invested. I'm not invested.
And I'm only scared about what the AI gonna do to y'all too. Because child, if we're already here with the internet, with this
AI is fucking it all up. All my good shows, all my good movies. Pussy Valley is on a hiatus because of the strike.
Oh, girl,
it's just all the things.
Oh my god, I forgot about the whole strike now. Now the strike is something that's kind of juicy. I actually want to get into this. Yeah, I kind of want to get a little into this.
No, we got to get into this. Get into this.
Woo!
Do we need to do our full sip? Let's do
it. Let's do that because this is actually something else.
Because we didn't even write the strike down.
We
but
did.
The strike needs to be on the docket.
We got to talk about the strike.
Okay.
Because
y'all acting like this don't affect our lives, but it does.
But not even just. But not even just that. Is it SAG? SAG?
Yep.
Woo, SAG. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we on our
Screen Actors Guild, I believe, is what it stands for.
Fourth sip.
Ooh, God, this smells amazing. So our fourth sip, which had a nice amount of time to aerate,
yes,
is from Westland Distillery.
So
and this is a Westland single cask select that has spent 7 years in a Tempranillo barrel.
What?
And so for those who aren't really big red wine drinkers, I'm still going to talk about Tempranillo, give you a little background. Tempranillo is Spain's #1 red wine grape. Ever had Rioja? Rioja. This region is famous for its Tempranillo-based wines. Tempranillo has many common synonyms. For example, in Portugal, it's also known as Tinta Roriz and Aragonés. Well-crafted Tempranillo wines age for 2 or more decades. And so this is the type of barrel that this single malt whiskey has spent 7 years in. Mash bill is a barley 5 malt, sorry. Proof is 103.8. Length of the finish was 2.6 years. Tempranillo dry red wine cask. Okay, so that first 4.4 years was spent in, I'm going to guess American oak. They don't specify. But 2.6 of the 7 years of aging was spent in the Tempranillo dry red wine casks.
Okay, heard.
First of all, it smells great.
It looks beautiful.
That smells so good.
It does.
I get chocolate. I get fruit.
Flowers.
Still trying to pinpoint
floral.
the type of fruit. Yes, floral.
Lemon.
Peel or flesh?
Juice.
I was gonna say it's kind of giving me flesh, but also juice.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Lemon juice and oil. There's definitely a grape essence here for sure.
And I'm trying to pinpoint it. Like, I'm trying to figure out if it's the grape essence or if it's the wine essence in and of itself. Because the wine tends to give more than grape in its own presentation.
Right.
I mean, it's giving red wine. We'll tell y'all that. It's
there.
giving red wine.
There.
It's also giving cacao. It's also giving some earthy funk, which comes from that Northwestern vibe. Like, Northwestern spirits, as particularly whiskeys, tend to give a certain level of funk, whether it's Oregon, Washington, Colorado.
You're right, 100%. And it might be something.
So it gives that Northwest funk.
Maybe like I don't really know what moss smells like, but it, like in
Is it moss?
Like my imagination, it's like that foresty type of thing.
Moist forest,
right?
Not even rainforest, just
moist
moist forest,
right?
Like
Twilight Zone. Not Twilight Zone, but Twilight.
But Twilight the movie. Nah, it's giving forks.
Yeah.
It's giving Bella hanging from a tree, pining for Edward.
It smells like milk chocolate though, for me.
Ooh.
Like a.
You know what I smelled on a whiskey recently?
the
malt balls. Chocolate malt balls.
Yes.
I was like, wow.
Yeah.
Chocolate fucking malt balls.
100%.
And I'm like, damn. Malted barley. Malt balls. Wow.
Damn.
I had a eureka moment. I was like, wow, they don't talk to you about the malt balls.
They don't say about the malt balls.
They don't talk to you about the motherfucking malt balls.
I haven't gotten a good malt shake in a very long time.
I have not gotten a shake in a long time.
I miss
because I don't always get prepared for the
I
trip
love a milkshake
to the bathroom that it will send me on. But
a malt shake though, I love a milkshake. I should just make it myself.
Damn,
I wonder.
I could go for an adult shake too. Shout out to Ted's. Haven't been there in a while. I have not been to Ted's since pre-panty. Was it pre-panty? No, I probably went during the panty, but
what is that? What did we say the proof was?
103.8.
Okay, so hottest one so far. Okay,
essentially 104.
It's definitely cacao
hot
on there.
The cacao is like so prevalent. Yeah. Also, that coffee, like
bean.
spent coffee ground. You said coffee bean?
For me, it's like bean.
You know what?
Chewing on
like a dark roast bean,
or the
like
the
if you bit into
coffee, whatever those things are.
Coffee beans.
Yeah,
they're chocolate
espresso. The espresso
beans. That's why I said dark roast, because espresso ain't nothing but a really dark roast.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, the chocolate covered like espresso bean. I get that. You bite into it and it gives you that dry.
They eat those things.
Why do people eat those? One, don't you get the jitters? It's a snack. They sell them at Trader Joe's.
Yeah,
but like I get the jitters just drinking like Starbucks.
Right.
So like I can only imagine biting into a coffee bean.
Legit though.
Like, I don't know. That's just not my vibe personally, but
No,
I appreciate
I'm
it.
gonna put some water in mine.
Definitely want to see what it gives with some water. I'll probably give it like 5 drops. Thank you.
Yes, of course. But yes.
Ooh, immediately on the nose though, that milk chocolate amplified.
Yeah. Yeah. But
First
the
thing I
malt
got.
too. The like malt chocolate that you were
Yep.
getting in the combination.
Yep.
There is a fruit.
It's a fruit.
Not.
I can't nail
maybe
down
like
one fruit.
Leather, like a mixed fruit leather of some sort.
Yeah, one of those natural ones from Whole Foods.
Yes.
Because it's definitely not giving artificial.
No.
It's giving. We mashed a bunch of these fruits together, put a rolling pin over them, called it leather, put it in a dehydrator. You know, like that type of vibe.
Maybe
I just did some
overripe strawberry. I mean, it's just maybe even the strawberry preserve, but not the sugar.
Yes, strawberry preserve because I get like that gummy kind of like. Yeah, I get that. Wow, damn! I can't wait till we do a live tasting where y'all can sit through and taste this shit with us because we want y'all to get what we're talking about in real time.
Yeah,
like, wow. We need to start with like an intimate live show of like 12 to 15 people.
That's so true.
Get a couple of bottles where we can do some pours of and like really do this group thing. That is very easy to accomplish, actually. That'll be in the works.
Accomplish.
That'll be in the works because we've done bigger events than that.
That's very easy to accomplish. The berry is now on the palate.
Wow, yeah.
The berry is now on the palate.
Multiple berries. I get the blackberry, blueberry,
Yeah,
strawberry. And then it goes right back into that coffee.
straight into the coffee.
This is heavy on the coffee. This will make a yummy espresso martini. Can't wait. Got some Mr. Black in the house. I gave away my fee foam because Will was amazed. He was like, "You got that froth out of that?" He's like, "Okay, girl." It's like, I'm gonna let you have it.
Yeah.
But I'm at home. I'm gonna use my egg
Berry
white.
chocolate and coffee, really nice.
I'm having an espresso martini when I get home. That's bomb.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do Amaro, Mr. Black, a little bit of simple, egg white, and this.
You don't even need the egg white, unless you just want.
I just want the froth.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
just want the froth. Sometimes I crave texture as much as flavor,
Yeah, but
and I very rarely use egg white.
the espresso you shouldn't need it.
That's true.
Try
You
it
know
out,
what
see
it
what
is? Sometimes I skip the espresso because I'm using Mr. Black.
happens. Oh,
Because if I use espresso, I won't need Mr. Black. Maybe
I
I'll
do
go,
both.
I'll go ahead and make me a cup of espresso.
yeah.
And I'm gonna try it without the Mr.
I
Black
do both.
first.
I do espresso and coffee liqueur.
And just to amp up that coffee note.
Yeah, just it has a
What specs do you use when you do that?
So if I'm doing espresso, I'm doing equal parts. So 1 ounce espresso, 1 ounce coffee liqueur. I'm doing 1/4 ounce of simple, 1.5 of whatever spirit I got. Yeah.
Okay.
And then shake it up. But that's because I think Mr. Black brings a very nice. I don't have coffee in here though because I have Mr. Black.
Me too.
A very nice chocolatiness to it,
Agreed.
which I love.
That's why I use it in my Westward cocktail with the
right.
stout cast.
Yeah, so sometimes I'll even put like a little bit of cacao, like cream de cacao in it too.
Yum.
I like the chocolate coffee.
I love the chocolate
A lot of
coffee
people don't like.
combo.
I was like, I want it to taste like chocolate. I don't want it to taste like
I
coffee.
do. But the thing about it is, I like that in my actual coffee.
Yeah,
Like, I like to
like
incorporate
shit.
chocolate some type of way if I can in my real coffee.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
But I'm a chocolate lover. That's me. I'm a chocolate lover.
word. This is why we friends.
But yeah, okay. So the
Bitch,
SAG,
okay.
bitch. Okay, so I don't know the ins and outs, and I follow
strike, right?
quite a few people that are on strike right now.
Yeah, like Issa
and I
Rae,
didn't know.
all of P Valley's cast.
There's a lot of black
Goddamn
people
Candy Burris.
in it. And the only thing is too, so this is I somehow came across SAG's Instagram.
I didn't even realize they had
And
one.
I went to they have like on their post, it's like this is what you can and cannot do while you're on strike as a member. So bitch, of course I was like, well, let me go look at these comments.
Yeah.
And Child Honey Bun, what's really going on, well, what it seems is really going on is that the SAG, the membership is expensive as fuck. Mm-hmm. A lot of people are coached into it in the early parts of their years to be into this membership, and they can't even afford it really, but they think it's like a way for you to network and get to this and get to that.
Right.
And I don't know who this is.
Same with like the Bartenders Guild. They use that as a means for you to be able to network, have access to brands, have access to press opportunities, have access to all these type of opportunities.
Right. So
employment opportunities, things.
They pull you in, but then you can't afford your membership. You can't afford the healthcare program or anything that goes on into being in this guild. So for people, you're trying to fight to get gigs to be able to afford to be a member
of the guild.
So there goes problematic part of the guild number one. Mm-hmm. Second problematic part of this guild that happens is that the guild does not think about the crew on the sets. So we're talking about the crew that's running the stars, their food, that's doing their makeup, the camera crew, the production crew, and everything like that. Supposedly when their union was on strike, all of the stars and actors did not back them up nor support them. They were actually upset because it was making their job harder because they could no longer work while the crews were on strike. But now that the actors are on strike, they want the crew members to understand and do these different things, while now the crew can't even work and pay for their own bills because these actors are on strike now and different things like that. So that is problematic number 2. So my thing is right now, I believe I understand what's going on. I believe that this is all about the writers, not being able to, they're not getting paid what they need to be paid.
They need to get paid.
They're not getting residual pay.
Apparently, the streaming, which I'm not surprised, the introduction of streaming, fuck you Netflix, apparently, because you started this shit, has made it very hard for actors, writers, etc., to be able to make a livable amount of money off of their off of like the work that they put in, off of their artistic contributions to the work. Like, what brought my attention to it was the articles that was coming out from all the actors in Orange is the New Black. We all looked at them, this monumental show that broke all these waves, like sent all these waves through the industry and all that. We look at them as people making all this money off this amazing show, whatever. Granted, it afforded them opportunities to really flex that muscle, really show their capabilities as an actor, give them opportunities to flesh out these characters and really make them come alive and all that. And so for people looking to cast for future stuff, yes, that looks great. However, .org. These people still had to keep their day jobs after seasons of doing this show. Not only that, they get pennies on the licensing of that material.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Netflix made money hand over fucking fist.
100%.
And that catapulted them into be making all of this other content that they're able to crunch out.
100%.
And we can only assume that the same thing is happening with all these other amazing shows that we watch on Netflix. People getting paid pennies.
Yeah. Which we knew, because we know in general, well, at least I did, that if you see a motherfucker on screen, it's only the lead actor that's actually getting great pay on that set. Mm-hmm. That's about it.
The name of notoriety. Like, it's the name that people know the most.
Right. Is getting paid the most on that set.
Yeah.
Not even. Sometimes it's not even the name that
that's
knows
true.
The most.
That's true.
It really isn't. Sometimes it's not even that. Mm-hmm. Because if we're comparing a black woman's name to a white man's name, and the black woman is actually still the star,
the lead, right?
We still fucking around and finding out that that's not how that works.
Yeah.
But my thing is that this strike is not encompassing the whole industry, and that is what is very surprising. Or when I went to these comments, is that a lot of the crew members and the people that do most of the work in the background they're not getting anything out of this strike.
Nope.
So it's like damn, like, are they going to force the hand of AI quicker than it needs to be? Because, bitch, what's going to happen? Because guess who's still going to have a job then? The production crew.
In a different way. they're not going to need as much production crew. Because a lot of the job of production crew is managing shit like craft services, managing shit like going from trailer to trailer to pull this actor, pull that actor. But someone's got to keep
maintenance on the AI, so whoever does
it's going to be a bunch of motherfucking tech geeks who know how to work software and work CGI and work AI and all that stuff, who are on the forefront of understanding that shit. All of IT, all y'all bitches who got these certifications and shit up front, y'all motherfuckers about to cash in.
Everybody's got IT, bro.
The fuck?
Oh my god.
Y'all about to cash the fuck in. But I don't think it's cool to be able to make money off a person's likeness and like...
So no, like literally, we
Black
just
Mirror is calling it.
Hold on, exactly. Boopity boop boop boop. How
that
long
first episode with this person's watching themselves in this, who's playing themselves in this, who's getting played by this person, who's getting played by this person, who's really leasing themselves out via AI and just collecting a check off of leasing out their likeness. So it's not even you upset with motherfucking Eva Longoria or what's her name, and that's not even. She don't even know that she's playing you. She just licensed her likeness out, made a passive coin, and now your life feels ruined.
I've been telling y'all since the first season, not y'all specifically because the first season's been out, but I've been telling people around me the first season of Black Mirror that shit is not playing the game with y'all. And guess what? It was made on, it's on Netflix.
Right. And you know what? Striking Vipers, that episode came out way before the Oculus got popular. Bitch, way before the metaverse. And now y'all motherfuckers in the metaverse fucking y'all friends and lying to y'all wives about it. Feeling all the sensations because y'all some creeps like that.
Soon at least.
Y'all are in the metaverse fucking y'all friends and lying about it. And Black Mirror called it.
Have you seen the
Damn, Netflix? I saw like the first 2 episodes of the first season.
Oh, no.
I saw the one where they was like on this bike doing all this like cardio shit and there's a screen and then you go back into this like cute.
Yes.
I saw that.
That was people underground. The bikes and all the things that they're on were actually pumping the electricity for the people that were on ground. Yes. Watch that shit.
Okay, y'all. I gotta go back and watch. Oh God, I gotta take some shrooms and watch.
Yeah, shit. Don't do that. It might depress your ass.
Oh my God, it might send me down a spiral. Never mind. I'll smoke some weed. Damn, I had it. Second I said it, I thought about it.
To be careful. But it's so many layers to this strike that it's like, you know, of course the actors, they're like upset because of course us as well, I'm not saying us, but like the humans that aren't actors are like, y'all are just trying to get richer, y'all already have all this money, how dare you all strike?
It's just never enough.
Right.
That's what they say.
Pretty much what they're saying. How dare you all strike? Where the motherfuckers that do have the money are like, okay, well, yeah, I made it, but there are so many that
haven't.
The SAG, the people, the members, they have like 200,000 members or some shit like that, I think. So it's like, yeah, they're not gonna fucking, not all the motherfuckers we fucking know, one, two, are making trillions of dollars. Like, that's just not true. And even the motherfuckers that did make money, okay, they still gotta go back and make more. Like,
correct. They still, everybody got bills to pay.
Residual.
And if these motherfuckers live in Hollywood or even live in the state of California,
it's not residual.
What they gotta pay is different from what a lot of you spectators gotta pay.
Honey.
If they gotta live in New York to make a living, what they gotta pay is different from what a lot of you spectators gotta pay.
Like,
so we are not here to be in a position to try to count another person's pockets or decide what's enough money for a person to make to sustain their lifestyle, because we don't know what their lifestyle requires.
Literally.
I'm not worried about when that person got to pay out their pocket. I got enough bills of my own.
Seriously.
I'm trying to focus on my several bags.
And I think that no matter what the industry is, if that industry has decided that they need more rights, they need more money, they need more, because they are doing majority of the work and their work is not being paid off,
and they're looking at what the people who hired them make. They're looking at the profit that they make for the work of what they're putting out.
They should go for it.
These corporations are not actually really doing any work. They're casting, they're fucking hiring employees. They're putting everybody in a position and delegating what they need to get done.
And we have to understand,
and then they're collecting the check. Yeah, they're funding it, but they're also collecting every bit of profit and then some.
And we have to understand
hand
that
over
this
fist.
is every industry right now.
Every industry. This is not exclusive to the Screen Actors Guild.
Every industry, the working class of these companies, of these corporations, of these industries are not getting what they deserve.
Mm-hmm.
We know that because, like you and me, we struggling out here in these streets to fucking. We can't go outside without spending $1,000 right now.
Correct.
Some people can't go outside without spending half.
I have to give myself a pep talk before I leave the house. Do not get caught up. Don't get distracted. Don't go out. Don't get the urge. Bitch, don't get the urge to go out. Don't do it.
So it's
immediately that's $200 out your bank account. And then you have to have a conversation with your wife.
Immediately.
I don't have time every day. I can't. Every time. I've been in the house nesting.
Honey, we just talked about we was being 45 one way and another. That's $100 right there. You didn't even eat.
Didn't even eat.
What are we talking about?
I didn't even get to consume it.
You couldn't even have Starbucks.
It went to somebody else.
What are we talking about?
What the fuck are we talking about?
So, for us to act like people shouldn't fight for their money, for their worth, y'all are tripping. People have to do that. That is the only way that you get what you're worth.
Right.
Hello. And then you and what you just be independent and no, and then they gotta fight even more.
It's easy to spectate and to try to suggest that type of shit when you don't have to do it,
honey.
Just like it's easy for you to spectate on the music artists who fund their entire thing, who are independent artists who fund their entire careers. It's easy to be like, oh yeah, we should stay independent. What you need a label for? You make it. It's also, I forgot. Oh God, I think there was a link. I don't know if I shared it with you, but I was watching something where they were talking about this in particular, and it might have been consciously again posting somebody talking about it, but we very lopsidedly or inaccurately or just all the things incorrect equate fame with wealth. If you're famous, you must be wealthy.
So
if we know your face, if we know your name, if we know your work, you must be making millions on it.
Honey.
That's the assumption. Meanwhile, there are actors out here on major fucking platforms, under major networks, on major streaming services and all the things, who we could name multiple things they've done. We can recite their lines. We felt moved and related to their characters and all the shit. And they still had to keep their day job.
Yes.
They are still living gig to gig.
Yes.
These are not the Angelina Jolies and the Brad Pitts. This is not the Jennifer Anistons. This is not the fucking... And by the way,
those actors had to do the same motherfucking thing until they finally got to a certain point where...
Except for Angelina Jolie, because she came from wealth, but...
I mean, yeah.
But you get the point.
I mean,
you get the point. Brad Pitt didn't.
Here. I don't know.
Because her father is something Voight, John Voight, Voight something. She came from privilege.
They all did the same thing, but like for their own money. Like
yeah, for sure. They had to do their own thing. There's a grind for actors like any other industry. Right. There are people who are working the Broadway circuit. People working the off-Broadway circuit. Literally. There are people who aren't able to always secure the series regular gigs and have to go to theater acting and like do that type of thing. Like, y'all shut the fuck up and leave people alone. If it's not your business, if it's not your industry, shut the fuck up, spectate in silence, or just don't speak on shit you don't have a real clear understanding of, because it just, not that y'all care about looking dumb, because people get on the fucking socials and be loud and dumb all day long and don't care. It's very unabashed, but still, I'm gonna throw it out there regardless. Maybe consider zipping the lip. Right. If it's not your industry, maybe focus on the trends in your own industry. Right. Maybe focus on the potential discrepancies and the potential things that could be improved within the space that you occupy. Right. And then maybe you'll find some relatability between yourselves and these famous yet not wealthy actors who still have to keep their 9-to-5s or keep their side hustles or continue to cocktail waitress or bartend while they're also on this platform being viewed by millions of people, followers growing, eyeballs growing. Meanwhile, the bank account is looking the same, and it's tragic.
Tragic, honey.
Like, what are we talking about?
Tragic on it.
Like, you got to have a special type of hustler spirit to flip fame into wealth like that.
Man.
Like, it's a special kind of
be blessed situation. By your path, because even if you got the hustle spirit,
because also tell God your plans and watch them laugh.
Yeah.
Because it don't always work out that way just because you have a hustler spirit either.
People that got a hustler spirit, it's still in a certain space.
Hustling in circles.
Bitch.
Mad at the world.
God damn, that's real. Let's get to our fifth sip. Let's get out of here. We got y'all on a long one today.
We definitely kept y'all. We definitely kept y'all.
We're just gonna say real
damn,
quick.
we kept ourselves. Shit.
I know, child. Also, by the way, military spent a shit ton of money on a fucking Viagra.
Viagra and shit.
Supposedly, it's because they cover it because people with PTSD, they suffer from erectile dysfunction because of their PTSD, and so therefore buy Viagra and the government covers it. I don't give a fuck.
Is sex the most important thing? Like, here's my thing.
Here's what they won't cover. Is that suffering?
No, here's what they won't cover.
Is your erectile dysfunction a suffering?
I mean, yes, it's a human urge, but here's my thing though. Here's what they won't always cover: therapy.
Exactly.
Here's what they won't always cover: mental health services.
Here's
what they won't always cover, unless you go to a VA hospital.
I get it.
They don't always cover medical treatment. They don't always cover brain scans because of whatever trauma to the fucking brain you might have endured while you were on tour.
I guess it's suffering. I guess it is suffering. Let me take that back.
Yeah.
Take that back.
On top of being mentally fucked up,
you can't even
perform in a bedroom. Let's say you did make it back home to your wife. Now you so traumatized by what you experienced in Afghanistan, you can't even fuck your bitch properly.
I know, but then like
now you got to deal with her potentially cheating on your ass with the motherfucker she was dealing with while you was on tour for 3 years.
But also, like, I'm like, okay, but if you can't even fuck her, then like, is getting it hard gonna help?
Here's the thing, no, because the issue is mental. It's not physiological.
Exactly.
But that's America securing a contract with a pharmaceutical company.
Here we go.
And justifying the payment of that pharmaceutical. It's the American way. It's big pharma, bitch.
Oh my God, we gotta get the fuck out of this country.
Bitch.
Oh, mercy.
Bitch.
I gotta go.
Apparently Kenya's not giving out visas, but Kenya is making it easier to acquire a visa for us black folks.
How do we like Kenya though?
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I haven't been, so I don't know.
Tell us.
I still got to make my tour through Africa, so I don't know yet.
Yeah, me too.
I gotta do my African ancestry.
Someone was telling me don't go to Ethiopia right now.
For some reason, I believe that. I trust that.
There's some like crazy ass like trafficking going on.
I was gonna say there's a lot of racism in Ethiopia.
Oh,
it's trickled into the Ethiopians
this man was
that live
fucking
here.
like from there. He's like, we used to go all the time, and now we can't go. I'm like, oh, okay, that's crazy as hell. Well, let's get to this last sip. This has actually been a long day. My phone has been blowing up the whole time.
Right. There's a lot of activity happening in the world, y'all. If you weren't even here with us. You could have been fly on the wall for the first hour before we even turn on our microphones.
Just been way too fucking much.
It's a lot.
It's too much. But here we go.
Fifth sip. We're still in Westland. And now it's another 7-year age. But this one was aged in Juricon barrels. Okay. I'm going to spell it for y'all because I don't want to murder this. Jurancon. Also a type of wine. I'm going to give y'all a little bit about Juricon. Jurancon. Hold up.
Jurancon? What's the C thing? What's the C? What sound does that make?
Jurancon. Jurancon.
You see the C? You have a different one here with a little accent.
Jurancon. I don't know. I don't speak French. I'm not even going to try it. Here's the thing about it. Jurancon is a wine region in southwest France in the foothills of the Pyrenees around the commune of Jurancon. It produces a dry white wine and a more sought-after sweet white wine. The grape varieties used are Gros Manseng, Petit Manseng, and Corbu. 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 Interesting. Well, that's what that is. And so this dry slash sweet white wine.
I don't think anybody knew what any of this was.
How'd y'all acquire these barrels, Westland? I don't even fucking know. But cheers to y'all, because this is the first time I've heard of that particular barrel. So you're being innovators.
That's very true.
Both of these Westland picks were picked by Take, aka R Bourbon, aka Jay West. Shout out to you. Might be doing a blend with him at Pinhook during Tales. We'll see.
Nice.
For the true small batch, so I kind of hope that gets to happen because I want to do a blend. But again, age 7 years, 2.9 of those years were spent in the Jurancon sweet wine cask. So this, I'm glad they distinguished between the dry and the sweet. So these were spent in a sweet white wine version of this grape. And yeah, I'm kind of excited. 104 proof, so we're kind of in the same wheelhouse here in terms of proof.
Oof!
Wow.
Peach.
Already you can smell that sweet, yeah. Definitely still get that
Welch's
oak.
white grape.
Yes. I got that first before the peach, actually. And I got white peach. Almost reminds me
of the white peach and white grape drink.
Yeah, I was going to say, almost reminds me of Ocean Spray white peach minus the cranberry.
Literally.
Which, for some of y'all, might be hard to separate that cranberry out. But, like, I'm so used to compartmentalizing at this point. But, no, yeah, it's that. It's the white peach in the white cran peach. It's giving white peach, though, because there is a such thing.
Isn't there like a white cran grape peach or some shit like that? Or is it just white cran peach?
White cran peach.
Okay.
You know what? Maybe it's giving me nectarine.
Ooh,
which is similar to peach, but like white.
For sure. All right, here we go.
A lot of dark smoke. Coffee, dark chocolate at the beginning, similar to the other.
Toffee, maybe.
Toffee, okay. Kind of chalky.
Popcorn.
100%. Popcorn
too.
that I let sit for an extra 30 minutes in the microwave that I shouldn't have.
A little burnt, but also a little
tiny bit burnt.
corn.
But yeah, I get that 1,000%.
Wow. Wow.
So specific.
All the finish.
Damn. Wow. The singed popcorn thing is all the finish for me.
Yeah.
Singed popcorn.
That's crazy.
Damn, it makes me want some popcorn.
And not your we're not talking pop.
We're not talking Jiffy Pop.
Yeah, we're talking like maybe a local,
like your local quote unquote gourmet popcorn.
Yeah, yeah.
With a singe. Like they just let it pop a little too long.
It's not that artificial butter going on.
Yeah, it's not that like Orville Redenbacher.
Right.
This is more specific. We pop them like Orville Redenbacher. I couldn't let it go.
Oh shit, that's what that means. I've been trying to
a milli motherfucker. I'm ill.
Oh, I never knew it.
Damn, you ain't catch that one.
See,
she was today years old, bitch.
Y'all gotta understand that I don't be paying attention to like logos or names. Like that's why it'd be so long for me to find people on Instagram because I don't remember their names.
This is hard. I remember somebody's Instagram name before I remember their real name.
Well, yes,
because I can associate it with your face, and that's easier for me.
But I'll just tell you, oh my god, I saw you on Instagram. You did that one skit. I remember what skit you did now. Your name?
You did that one skit.
Yeah, I remember that one time. You
way
did this
back
when,
when,
child. I remember what you did. I just don't remember when or what your name was. Sorry,
take it.
I guess we'll cheers with this one. Get out.
We'll cheers
with
this one.
Don't forget to go ahead and tell your friends, tell everybody, like, subscribe, comment, engage. And remember that you can find all of these things, almost all of them, at Stillbox because I believe this one's not out yet, right?
Yes, Claremont will be out. Old Line is out. Westland also will be out after it releases to the Our Bourbon Group first. This will also be available to the public with what we've held back for y'all. And promo code SOUL for free shipping on your Stillbox related orders.
Okay.
And we appreciate you all listening. We appreciate your eyeballs, your ears, your attention, your energy, all of that. We appreciate those who text us and say all the great things. We will also appreciate if you comment those same great things so that we can get our engagement up because the algorithm be algorithming. And so far, not in our favor because the engagement's not quite popping on the socials as it is in our inboxes. So,
yeah, that's very true.
While we appreciate all the words, can you kind of put them on our public platforms so that we can get the algorithms going? Because that'll help us a lot.
I am starting us just randomly saying shit on Threads, so there's that.
Yes, there we go.
I'm saying random shit on Threads, just whatever. Probably say something random today.
I feel like we should start sharing the IG posts that we talk about in advance, see if they spark any conversation.
That's real.
And
Threads
then talk about said
I'm
conversation.
Not a Twitter girl. I guess we could.
Yeah, just toss it on to Threads, and because Threads just immediately like the link shows up as a photo and a description and all that anyway because it's directly connected to Instagram. It's more of a direct way.
That is one thing I do want to say about Threads is that I did not follow you on Threads to see exactly what you're putting on Instagram.
Switch it up.
Just
switch it up.
I don't. You gonna show me the same thing?
Switch it up.
I just saw this on Instagram.
My thing is the same people follow me.
We will do that a little bit on Soul Palate though. Sorry.
Yes, no, for sure. On Soul Palate, a little bit for sure. We have to.
Yeah.
But also, I think that'll be a great platform for us to do our clips especially the conversational, like spark those type of things, people I think will be more inclined to type out their thoughts and stuff in that regard. So anyway, we saw that to say we love you, thank you, participate, engage, continue to watch, continue to listen, and until next time, we'll be at Tails.
We might or may not
be in Nolan's making content, baby.
You know we're gonna have a guest.
Keep an eye on the thing.
Keep it out.
Sure. Let it ring a ling ding a ling.